Now whip it good.
Hello. Welcome again to another WIP IT Sundays.
How's everyone doing?
I'm doing pretty good. We've got a few things I figured out. It stared at me. I knew that I recognized Vulcan's butt for something. It's almost a easy Captain Marvel upgrade.
Yep.
So I'm going to be, and there's another customizer. I have to look up his name. He's showing peg shortening for the increased range. There's a channel inside it. You see that?
Yeah.
You lengthen that channel, does the same thing without getting the looseness. You just lengthen that channel, and you get the same range of movement as that, as trimming the pegs, but you get to keep the stability of the figure. And since I did the arm swap on my Retro Rogue, and I used her jacket and arms for another custom later on before, so I'm going to actually give her the Rogue jacket. I'll just strip off the green off the bottom, paint on flesh tone, and actually it's a better jacket than what she had. So I don't plan on getting the Mojo box set. Oh.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Hello.
What's going on, guys?
What's happening?
Oh, we got Darth in the house, the WIP IT crew. We got Gary in the house, and what about an original Miss Marvel? This one. I actually have her. The paint on the legs were really bad. I need, and they didn't clean it up before they painted it. It's real sloppy, so I'm actually going to pop these off, clean them up, and repaint them. I might do that head upgrade too with on this one because the match you did showed us.
Good
Morning.
Morning.
Wait a minute. It is morning for our friend Peg Zero Dad.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yep. So eventually I'm going to get back into this Miss Marvel, fixing her up. Almost like to go ahead and just do an arm upgrade too. Give her some. I wonder if the double joint elbow. This has got the bicep swivel. I wonder if the ones from the Shriek would actually fit that mushroom peg. I can give her double joint elbows too.
Well, that would be cool.
I might have to check that out. I don't know if we get around to that tonight because I always got this big list of stuff I'm working on, and I end up getting to like 10% of it. But,
man, who doesn't have a big long list of stuff they're working on?
I think they do the easiest one first. Well, I'm actually doing another round of working on my upgraded Age of Apocalypse Jean Grey. I just didn't like the legs, and since we got the Shriek legs now, and I thought about using the original torso already painted up. I got that Moonstone torso in my fodder box, so I just start painting it up to work with it, and it fits better with this upper torso too.
Make her look more like a woman?
Yeah. Actually,
is that important?
Actually have the figure actually have curves like they're supposed to have. Gary said it's early tonight to just 1 a.m. Did you say, Gary, did you say your time change happened today? Ours, I think, is next weekend.
Actually, isn't ours this weekend?
I think it's the 6th.
I'm glad my phone does that automatically.
Yeah, I know.
I ain't keeping up with that junk. But at least it's falling back, right? They should just do away with it altogether.
Yeah, change it half an hour. Well, Arizona actually don't do it.
It's annoying to get into that stuff.
Yep.
We're one of the very few countries that still does it.
Yep. A lot of other countries don't even touch it anymore.
Well, Europe, Europe does it big time, like all over the place. North America does it. I'm pretty sure South America does too. It's you know what, it gets to you though. Even when it's fall back, I think it still gets to you. It screws up your time then.
Yeah. Well, it feels like the first couple of days, it feels like the day lasts forever.
Yeah.
A little bit yellow paint from her eyebrow and next to her lip. Still better than that new face printing tech. But it's gotten worse.
The what?
That face printing tech.
Oh yeah, you sent me that pic. That was bad.
Somebody showed a picture of the new Scorpion.
That's awful.
Makes me feel like pull that up. It's like, good grief! I don't see how they can even think that's okay to release.
Tell you, it looks like my daughter went at it with the glitter and went nuts.
There's I can't remember the name of it. There's an art form where you actually make a artwork with just colored dots.
Yeah, it's Dotmation.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Exactly.
Or if you want to go into the classics, pointillism.
Present.
Because I noticed that on the saber-tooth teeth when I had first got mine, and then I pointed out to you, and you had to repaint his teeth because they look dirty as hell.
Yeah.
Gary said it went back 23 hours ago for us. It's 2 a.m. on the 30th. Can other parts of figures be 3D printed besides just heads? Oh yeah, people do vests, hands, and I know some guy was doing new Bane fist for like the McFarlane figure. Let's see. Present. Oh, get this off. Present. Share screen. Hide your eyes. Good God, that's bad. Look at this. How can they think that's okay to release?
That's just terrible, man. And then it's even in like in the inseams of his on his cheeks where he's frowning. It's like caked in there.
That
looks glitter though, eh?
It looks like glitter, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like glitter. It looks like one of those artworks where you made pin dot matrix. So like
those cheapy glitter paints my daughter uses.
I'd rather them go back to hand painting them if they're going to look that bad.
Yeah, it's terrible. I mean, if this is what the future of the figure's faces could be, they might as well just give me the figure without a head, and I'll just buy a custom head sculpt.
Yeah, well, if you're lucky if you get one accurate with Nova, the head sculpt's not even accurate to the comics.
Nope.
And that was a part of a $400 set.
Well, I mean, they botched that one up. You know, Morg, like you said, should have been way bigger.
Oh yeah, he should be at least the height of the Herald of Galactus Thor and the 80th anniversary Thor is exactly the same height.
Yeah. And then
Morg should have been that height. If he was that height, he would have been even bulkier too, just because he would have been big.
And then you had your semi-silver surfer.
Oh yeah, the lightest kind of paint they could get, just coat it with a light coat of silver. What's up, Southtown Paint Apps? And is that the what now?
Surratt.
Right. That is Scorpion.
I think he's talking about the artist Surratt. That's the day. That's the thing I was talking about. Day in the Park that pointillism painting sold the Grand Jot, so it's by Surratt.
I haven't had history in a long time. So
I worked at the Art Institute of Chicago for 7 years, so I know what he's talking about.
I used to know that stuff, and hell, I got like a art degree a long time back, but I never remember.
You start going back to painting faces, it might get worse. Then I start looking like Jackson Pollock's.
I can't remember, and I didn't print out the look. What color is his shirt again?
White.
White.
Yep.
You sure?
Uh-huh. Lord Pumpkin shirt's white with a black tie.
Wonder where Keon's at.
Family stuff. They're doing a like Halloween thing.
You see that? How about that head sculpt for that Baron? That was terrible. That eye is so offset. He looks like Chunk with a monocle.
You mean Sloth?
Yeah, Sloth.
Yeah.
Hey,
you guys.
It was bad. I mean, I don't know if it was the angle, but I kept looking at it in different pictures, and it seems like it's lowered. The eye is on a lower setting than the other eye.
You know what? They're pretty much doing whatever they want to do now.
They're phoning a lot of that stuff in. It's like they're going back and breaking the word on a lot of stuff. It's like, oh, the Shriek is going to be the new female body going forward. Okay,
Yeah,
prove it.
Everything's got damn pins. I mean,
yeah, and they keep making that little skinny leg body.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, it's terrible, man.
I'm hoping that's just an optical illusion of the
yeah. I mean, I was thinking maybe it's just the plastic and it's shifting the eye down, but I mean, I don't know. It's just because that's like what about, and I don't even know how. That's pretty significant drop.
It's a whole eye lower.
And he's got dentures and an overbite and everything else. It looks like I don't know what look that is.
It's like they like the bad denture look from the Book of Boba Fett. It's like a banta.
I don't know. He's just
like a banta.
I wonder how much of it is.
He just looks uncomfortable with that face. It's like he's holding.
Like how much they actually have control over it.
They when you make statements though, and then they get defensive when it gets be proven untrue. Like they said, they're not going to they're going to quit using the Bucky mold. Then they act like they never said that.
Yeah,
it's like they got defensive when Boog Knight mentioned that with Orb, and like he's on your side, dudes. Why are you getting offensive?
I know. Can you imagine if it was somebody who wasn't on their side?
Yeah.
I mean, like Anthony?
No.
Anybody else?
They would never take an interview from Anthony. Anthony would roast him.
Oh, yeah.
Because he knows what's going on, and he's doing his own figure line.
It'd be like Comedy Central's that roast thing they used to do. It'd be Marvel Legends roast.
Oh, my God. Can you imagine?
That 5 random, it looks terrible. Everybody's been wanting a random for old X-Men, and they put them on the modern Hercules body, saying it's the maggot. Why is he not on Omega Red body? That makes more sense.
Yeah.
It's a bigger body, and Random was big. And that arm's permanently a gun hand. He's a shapeshifter type of character. Why is it not an accessory that clips on?
Yeah, because somebody had made mention that there was talks that they were potentially going to give him different arms so he could like post on there, but that's one solid piece, and he's pinned.
Yeah. You know what, Darth? You got it right, buddy. A lot of people now they're looking elsewhere, man. They're like a lot of people are looking to Joe Line and even McFarlane. Like, I mean, I'm not a big fan of McFarlane, but you know what? He's continuously giving us new sculpts. They're bigger figures and for the price point. You know, like if he got his skill right, like I mean, if he just did certain things different, that guy could have been blowing Hasbro out of the water with his.
He needs to focus on the articulation and his sculpt is there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But for some reason he don't put a lot of effort into the articulation.
But you know, even going way back, his sculpt has always been there.
Oh yeah. Yep.
He was always leading the pack with that.
Yeah.
He fought tooth and nail to even add the articulation in the figures. He preferred the sculpt over the articulation.
But I mean, now he's been doing both, and I got to give him props for that.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm not, like I said, I'm not a big fan, but I'm going to give credit where it's due. The guy's he's really been pushing his old style. I'll say, like, giving us decent, really good molds and stuff like that. But he has been putting in the articulation now too, and you can't complain about that amount of articulation.
He's been upgrading his articulation points too, like on the bigger guys. That he's been getting rid of those horrible ball joints.
Yep.
Let's see what we got to catch up on the chat here. Safari Wonderman is a big one for me. Yeah, it's a big one for a lot of people. But after Robo pointed it out when they were talking about it, having that broken zipper at the bottom, I just stared at that now. I was like, "Well, it should be a button jacket," but they sculpted the zipper, so when it's split at the bottom, it's like he's got a broken zipper.
Is that already supposed to be Safari Wonderman?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not digging that one.
Yeah, a lot of people were actually looking forward to that figure for so many years, but now that they actually see it, they're kind of changing their minds. So,
of course, I would personally like a new Wonder Man in his black and red costume. I know they did one. I forget what wave it was, but they got it was more modern style red and black costume when he was with the Avengers.
Yeah.
But I like to see it on the new Hercules body, the retro carded one with new lower legs, of course. Because to me, Wonder Man should be freaking jacked.
Yeah, he's a big boy, man.
Yeah. Boog Nice and the others are always apologizing for Marvel Legends. Yeah. They definitely gloss over any glaring issues. I have to say that. That's point on.
Yeah, when they do it right, they do it right. When they mess it up, man, dude, they mess it up.
Oh, got our microwave going. A microwave oven. Color TVs. I'm actually going to do that mod to this Vulcan torso that other customizer did. I'll pull his name up here in a little bit to give him credit. But yeah, that's going to be so much easier. Well, not easy. It's a lot more work. I mean, but you're not going to have the stability issue with the butterfly joint mod. A lot of people are just snipping. I even tried to snip this long peg off. It just makes the arms a little loose. Not bad. It's just I have OCD and it bothered me. You don't raise your profits by 50% or whatever the number is by doing all new things. You get that reuse in. Yeah, they definitely are going to get that reuse in. Oh, yeah, Todd's Catwoman from the Arkham Knight game. Good God, what's going on for her butt? I don't know if you know about Frank Cho's like wheat cake skag, but she's been eating the wheat cakes. Aunt May's wheat cakes. That's right. I'm leaning toward McFarlane for one reason. I'm more into DC than Marvel. Yeah, I always like DC, which is I was disappointed when McFarlane went all 7 inches. Make it in scale with Marvel Legends and DC Universe Classics, and then you had a guaranteed customer base.
I would have been in guaranteed if it was if it lined up with the Legends and DCUC.
This channel and a few others are supporters, at least never disrespect McFarlane, so keep it up, homies. Yeah, McFarlane, I got a lot of his figures. I hate a lot of his figures. So the biggest thing that keeps me out of the big thing is I'm not into that scale a lot, but where his scale is all over the place, sometimes you can get a figure that works with your collection. Like the Bizarro Superman. It works because he should be a bulkier character anyway. That version, especially that version of Bizarro.
Yeah,
I got him sitting with my Legion of Doom. What was it? Yeah, Legion of Doom, what they're called. Man, my memory's terrible anymore.
Yeah, you know, like I said, I'm not gonna say I'm a big fan of McFarlane. I'm not like gonna support him in everything, but only because it's the size of the figures. Like, I mean, I like my collection to look somewhat the same. So if I'm gonna be displaying a 7-inch Harley next to like a 6-inch Black Widow, it's not gonna look. You know what I'm trying to say? So if he had done it in the same, what I guess we're not gonna call it proper 1/12 scale, at least like the 6.6, right? Like the 6.5 scale. You know what? I would have been all in on this stuff, like for sure. But you know,
same here. It's like I've cherry picked some that fits in my collection with that scale.
yeah.
No, absolutely same here.
No, we're not spoiling it, Gary.
Abomination Wave is the only Hasbro 1D. I need to first appear. Oh yeah, the comic book version of Abomination. Yep.
Yeah. It's true. Yeah, he's had different looks, right? So.
Yep. Which I'm going to use one of those short ones to build an A-bomb eventually. Of course, time I start making it will be the time that they'll finally announce one.
Finally finished Robbie Ray's, and they announced the.
Well, don't worry about it. You still got your Robbie Reyes, and there won't be one coming out.
Yeah, they ain't gonna get like 6,000 subscribers tomorrow, so
no.
Or backers.
You know what? I like your Robbie Ray's better, anyways.
I tell you should have released a lot for the 4th tier, man. We blew up.
I just don't get why they just didn't. All these HasLabs to just show the entire tiers. I think wasn't the newest HasLab that just got announced? Oh, it was the Deathosaurus from Transformers.
Yeah, that's a one.
That's already past the Ghost Rider.
Yeah,
they showed all the tiers at one time too. They didn't try to like make them secret.
It was only 175, right?
I don't know. Let's look at it.
I think it was like 175, 185. So it was pretty reasonably priced.
Oh, we got the Geek Fusion in the house.
What's happening?
What's going on, man? Sorry I'm late. I was finishing up a video and didn't realize what time it was.
Oh, yeah, the Death Source is already at 5,143 backers, and he's only 179. So he's a lot more reasonably priced.
Yep. What's on the other tiers?
Let's see. I'm going to make sure at the screen that we can all see. Let's see. We got Tier 1, 14,000 backers, feel the power of the chain and the living metal destroying cannon. So there's Tier 1. Tier 2. That's benefiting the Decepticon Emperor. You get a throne. So you got 2 tiers on there already shown. No, we got to meet this point until we meet the tiers. That's what it should be. They should show everything at once and get you actually interested.
I agree.
I don't know what the deal is with why they want to hide the tiers for it. There's no Kickstarter. Oh, I'm rolling around my chair. I don't know where to go. Kickstarter out there that hides the tiers. It's like when we get to so many backers, we'll do this.
You know, it's just funny how pretty much all 3 of the tiers for Robbie Reyes had nothing to do with Robbie Reyes, though. Like, I mean,
yeah. The only thing you could say, and it's loose connection to Robbie Reyes, they're all modern looks for those characters.
Yeah, modern Ghost Rider, modern looks for those characters. So, but you know what though, I don't know. I'm not really like I don't know who his enemies are or what the case is.
But like Mr. Hyde was his only main.
Mr. Hyde was his villain.
Yeah, that was his initial villain. He didn't really have
That's kind of weird.
Yeah, he was pushing drugs in his neighborhood.
Hired
Really?
as a drug dealer.
Well,
That sounds
he
weird.
wasn't pushing heroin, of course. He was pushing a
Like a steroid.
steroid super soldier thing.
Yeah, like what he uses.
Seems to be the focus in comics. I mean, how Professor X and Cohen's are pretty much drug dealers.
His comic book run was very short.
So he's,
Who, Robbie?
he's in the Avengers now, isn't he?
Yeah, he was.
I've never read a single Robbie Reyes comic, period. Like, I knew he existed, and then my only information on him at all, which I know is completely, probably not at all comic book accurate, is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, the Agent Shield is not.
I mean, honestly, I just don't. I mean, I'll be honest. I'm first going to tell you, I don't even really care about Johnny Blaze either. My Ghost Rider growing up was Danny Ketch, 100%.
Oh,
Yep.
That is the one I've always cared about. Johnny Blaze was fine, you know, he would show up. But I mean, Danny Ketch had the longest run in comics, period. He was the one that did he had all the great runs in the comics, all the good storylines. He was a part of Hearts of Darkness. He was the main Ghost Rider I mean, that's what made Ghost Rider popular again. Was Danny Ketch.
The only like real big push Johnny Blaze had was after mid 2000s, like when he became Ghost Rider again.
Yeah.
But didn't he take over Hell at some point or something, Johnny Blaze?
Yeah.
Well, they don't keep up with their own continuity anymore either. And Dan Ketch became King of Hell too at the end of his run.
Oh.
But they don't. There is no such thing as historians in Marvel Comics anymore. They used to have people were in charge of continuity. Used to be part of the editor's jobs, but now they don't even spell check.
Yeah. I'll tell you, so they got to hire up, what's his name, from Comics Explained, Rob.
Mm-hmm.
Have him take over continuity purposes, and everything will be a lot more streamlined.
When they brought back when they brought back Johnny Blaze as Ghost Rider, and they made Dan Ketch a bad guy, like the War in Heaven.
Yeah.
And they revealed there were multiple Ghost Riders, and Danny was killing the other Ghost Riders and absorbing their power and getting stronger. Because he was tricked by one of the rebelling angels, the leader of the rebelling angels, to be on their side.
Okay, here's something that I'm pretty sure most of us watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., right?
Yep.
That Ghost Rider that passed on the power to Robbie on the show, was that Johnny or was that Danny?
Well,
It never said. From the looks of him, it looked more like Johnny Blaze.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it was hard to tell. Especially, and his bike, too, was more Johnny Blaze's bike than it was Danny Ketch's.
That's true.
So,
of course, in the comics, they gave Danny's bike in the newest run.
Really?
Yep.
Well, I mean, he had a better bike, so.
It is a cooler, it's a cooler, more iconic. Well, we know as Ghost Rider's bike because we grew up with Danny.
Yeah.
It's iconic. They draw Johnny Blaze in his Ghost Rider form right now to look exactly like Danny. I'm sorry. So,
because Johnny's bike just looked like any Harley with flaming wheels.
Yep.
Danny's bike was a very unique looking bike.
Mm-hmm.
And so it just stood out better.
It looks supernatural, his bike did.
Yeah.
Supernatural crotch rocket, with, kind of like contemporary lines. It was a pretty sweet bike.
And it was like
considering found it in a junkyard.
No.
And it's the size of a regular bike too.
Yeah. It's the only Ghost Rider bike that I currently have is that, and the Toy Biz one. Danny Ketch Toy Biz. I've got like a Marvel Select one, but he didn't even come with the bike. And that was Johnny Blaze anyway. So I've been thinking about picking up that McFarlane Hellbat bike or whatever the hell it's called, and modding it to make a bike for him. But I just don't care that much about Johnny Blaze. I mean, I ordered that new Ghost Rider, which is just Johnny Blaze again. But you know, I like Ghost. I love Ghost Rider. I was a huge Ghost Rider fan, and I'm disturbed by the lack of Danny Ketch in Marvel Legends.
Yeah.
It's got to be something from Marvel because they don't even use Danny Ketch in the comics anymore.
You know, I actually got one of those Bat Cycles too, but I'm using that to make Vengeance a bike.
That would make a perfect Vengeance bike. Really, I mean, to make Vengeance bike, all you got to do is saw the ears off.
Yeah,
That's
well,
it.
you think,
It's ready to
you know
go.
what I was actually thinking of doing those because I was looking up Vengeance, you know, like just looking it up on Wikipedia and stuff like that. And Vengeance bike is basically made from a dragon bone. So,
Yeah.
like from dragon bone. So I was thinking, okay, I looked up pictures of dragon skulls, and it actually looks like a bat skull minus the ears. So what I'm going to do is probably cut the ears off and use the outer rim of the ear, the folded part, to look like dragon horn.
Nice.
So I'm going to use that. You know, I'll probably either get rid of the entire skull, like completely, and just leave it because it looks like Dan Ketch's. It looks like Vengeance's bike without the head, right? But I thought maybe do a little bit of my own twist and get the dragon head on there, right? Something different.
So, what is the best way to remove textures from a figure? Sanding, remolding with resin. Depends what you're wanting to do. If you're wanting are you thinking like a fabric textures or scales or whatever? There's different methods you can actually use to remove it. Sanding, number one. Acetone will actually smooth down a figure if you're careful enough. But that's tricky though. You got to be careful.
Melt the shit out of it.
Yeah. But if you're wanting to really take it down, sanding is probably the best bet. Take a Dremel and sand it. Sandpaper or Dremel.
Also, it depends on like the.
If you don't want to use the size, I'm sorry, bro. Let me go ahead. You go ahead, Dom.
Sorry, I was just saying, depending on the amount of texture too. Right? I mean, if it's just very, very mild, just use like a fine sandpaper because you might not need to do all that work. But if it's something that's got like a sick amount of texture, you're gonna need a Dremel at least for sure.
Yeah. Oh, if it's also too, if you don't want to lose the thickness or diameter that whatever you're working on, the sanding, sculpting material could work. Though you could actually put that over top of it, then smooth it down. It's like just put a thin skim coat basically and thin it down.
What about your Winsor Newton trick?
The Winsor Newton would probably actually smooth it down too. It's like if it's a fine enough detail.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I gotta check out. I gotta go to bed. I'll see you guys next Sunday.
I'm glad you was able to check in a little bit.
Yeah, I wanted to catch up with you. I was actually wanting to talk to you about your interview, how you liked it, but we ran out of time.
Oh, I'm sorry. We can go ahead. Wait, we can take a quick question. What you got?
No. I got to get to bed, man. I got to get up early.
Okay.
I appreciate it. I'll talk to you guys later.
Yeah.
Take care.
All right. We got. I was just sanding the mold seams off of it, and I'm taking the Winsor Newton and going over top where I sand it and smooth it back down.
That's a cool trick, man.
And Peggy's Zero Dad, yeah, he was right because that Hellstorm with the trousers on there, it looked like crap. Because I can't tell if that was Shang-Chi or Legion that he had on for the legs.
Oh, neither. They didn't use the pant legs. They used this tight, smooth leg. Probably for the upper thighs are Shang-Chi. Then they use regular legs down the bottom, and so they can give them this tight, like high water pants. It's not a good look. I know it's this modern look, but it's not a good look.
The Hellstorm ever have anything to do with Ghost Rider?
No. Oh, the Midnight Suns. Not this Ghost Rider.
Nothing major, just like a one-off.
Oh, the Midnight Suns stuff. Like they'd have like big things. Like they have to take down a big bat or something. They'd get together and do stuff. Like a whole team Blade and Morbius and all those supernatural characters. Doctor Strange.
You know, they really messed up that whole HasLab. Like, I mean, they really clearly didn't see it through.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
What is your preferred glue when you attach things to your customs? I like Loctite. I've used it for years.
Yep, that's the best stuff in the world right there. Use the gel, or is that the?
This is the liquid. I use both liquid and gel. I'm out of gel right now.
Yeah, I prefer the gel.
The gel is you got so much more control with it, but it's local Home Depot's got a gel. This is a good thing to go with it, though. It gets you some Insta-Set. Once you can put Insta-Set on one side of what you're gluing to, then put your glue on. As soon as you touch it, it sets. It's locked. But if you need some work time, though, don't do that. You don't give you no time to adjust it. You got to make sure you're putting it exactly where you want it. I bought the old Toy Biz Ghost Rider bike, Johnny's, and gave it to a big time on a new Ghost Rider. Yeah, I saw that. It looks good, man. As a Mexican American myself, I want the Robbie, but I have Hasbro say, well, too bad. It felt like low blow personally, and I always feel like making custom. They messed up big time. I would say Robbie is going to get a retro card because they made that Ghost Rider card for a reason. And they admit it. Once they make that card, they will do more.
And they already got the mold for it because it's the same body mold, essentially certain portions from Long Shot.
Yep, arms and legs minus the boots and the torso are all the Long Shot.
Mm-hmm.
So Ghost Rider's got his own unique torso and boots. Which, if they made that Ghost Rider gave us a car, contacted Dodge and got an actual license for the Charger, I'm sure they could have had a situation where stipulation too, they don't have to pay the license fee if it doesn't fund.
Yep.
But actually have a licensed Charger, put the price point even at $300, have a licensed car, starting out thing, have both tops of Robbie Reyes, his human form, his Ghost Rider form, 2 separate figures included. No early bird crap.
And no head swaps.
First tier, Dan Ketch Ghost Rider was back. Second tier, the biker version with the Hellfire shotgun during the Spirits of Vengeance run with Johnny Blaze. That look.
Yep.
Tier Vengeance of his bike. It would have funded.
Guaranteed that would have been.
They would have had that and all the tiers and released.
Yep.
No, you know what though? You got these tiers. You got these tiers that mean nothing to the character. Like, I mean, you're going with. So if obviously, like we just heard that his only main villain was Mr. Hyde. Like, okay, I don't get it, but since he's got no known villains other than Hyde, and you already released the Hyde, you might as well make the tiers other Ghost Riders. You know, make it all about the vehicles.
Yeah, the money grab instead of a HasLab. Yeah, that's definitely what it was. When Bobby Valla broke down the parts count on that car versus the Sentinel arm, and the Sentinel arm's got as many, if not more, parts as the entire car.
Yeah,
and it costs the same.
Yep.
And the tiers were pretty damn lame for the car. It's 3 figures. I'm not saying the figures, just having 3 figures is lame. It's just for the price point of that car and just having 3 standard figures.
I mean, if they would have put up the tiers with the licensed Charger and all the other tiers with vehicles, they could have popped it at 600 and people would have just jumped all over it.
Oh yeah, they could, if it was $299, same as the His Tank, and did exactly what we were talking about before, it would have funded probably within 8 hours like the His Tank.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think there's got to be. They have to have learned now that withholding tiers is just stupid.
Well, like we showed with the new Transformers one, they showed all the tiers all at once.
Yep.
Bam. And it's already got more within a day.
Yeah, more than what they got currently now.
It's got almost 5,200 backers.
You think what the Vengeance car is? What, it's about 4,700,
Let me pull it up here.
4,800. Because it dropped about what was it? Did it ever hit 6K or no?
It did, but it didn't. Where it didn't meet the funding goal, and everybody started canceling.
Yeah.
It's at 4,860. No, I'm sorry, my eyes are blurry. 4,844.
Yep. That's the final countdown. It ain't getting funded.
It's the final countdown.
Now, if they give me a right size Cookie Monster and Rancor to ride with them, I might be in it.
Did you see the new Ultimate Cap Legend revealed yesterday? The render looks cool. Yeah, he's got a diaphragm joint instead of an ab crunch. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Is that the one they showed with the new Iron Man too?
Yep, with
Yep.
the new Grimace.
Yeah, that cap looks pretty good.
I'm Mexican from Mexico City. Ramirez doesn't get my attention only because this is a character. Mexican Scent does not make me interested in him. Yeah. One of my favorite characters reading when I was younger was Peter David's run on Supergirl. I don't look like Supergirl. It was a fun character to read. When she was a Earthbound Angel.
Well, don't sell yourself short. It's okay.
Do you think they want me?
Why, thank you.
No, did you see the new Supergirl, the Injustice Supergirl? Did you see those leaked photos?
I did.
Yeah. Well, now don't get me wrong. Okay, I'm glad we're getting a Supergirl, but just like with Wonder Woman, why can't we just get a comic accurate version of the character first?
Because Todd apparently don't like the regular characters.
I mean,
it is baffling why he keeps doing these alternate versions of characters instead of their main looks.
And it's really bad. The worst offender at this point is the Tim Drake Robin that just came out, where it is obviously already molded for what his costume is supposed to look like.
Yep.
Yeah.
And yet, I'll just put it out like this first.
Well,
I don't know why anybody would buy that.
Clearly made to look that shows that it's going to get released in the proper colors. Why buy that?
Yeah, there's no reason to buy that one. Yet people are going crazy for it.
It's got the bare arm sleeves sculpted on the red arms.
Yeah. I mean, it's molded for what he's supposed to look like. It's there, but people are freaking out over it. I'm like, no.
I haven't seen it yet. I gotta look for it.
I saw it on Amazon yesterday or something. I think it was actually available. Probably not now. It's been selling out everywhere.
The new Dazzler does look fantastic. Especially it's on the Shriek mold, which they should have. What they promised they would put all female figures going forward on, but they broke the promise immediately.
Yeah, they haven't been doing any of that. We're still getting old molds, man.
Throw the old female body, the torso is fine. Throw the molds for the arms and legs in the freaking trash. Or actually, what happens when they become boating, they're fishermen, like poor fishermen. It's like the fish outside these factories, like warehouses. That's where old molds go to. They get given to fishermen, and they get used as boat anchor.
At least they're good for something.
Yeah. that's all those arms are for. Arms and legs are good for. But you think about all these really cool things we like. They said they can't do it because they lost the molds. They lost the molds and gave them to the fishermen.
All they got to do is go back and ask the fishermen, can we borrow those for a bit?
Borrow them, scrape off the barnacles, and you'll be good.
Yeah.
Well, they got the money. They have the technology. They can recreate those molds anytime they want to. So that it's just a BS excuse when they say that.
Yeah, because they should still have the specs on file.
Well, even if they don't have it on file, they can do a digital scan and
Yep.
recreate them. They can take a vintage toy and scan it and recreate it.
Okay, why couldn't they lose the mold to that old Terex?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so they were forced to give us a new one, but no,
Well,
they
they've
The
been,
fishermen get it back to them. They didn't want it.
they've been using that Terex mold since how many times since they made that thing? Terex was the first. Then you had the Zorby Man, Sandman, Damaru. What else is on that? I'm sure
That's
there's.
that one with that terrible peg system that makes you like one peg is gigantically long compared to the other.
Yeah, the other one feels like it's going to break when you put the leg on.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
I'll probably still be using it in the next 10 years. I'll find some other use for it.
They could have retooled the new Thanos for Terex.
Yeah.
They used it for a controller.
Yeah, and meanwhile, they shouldn't have used it for controller or Thanos. They should have used the Age of Apocalypse or the Caliban body.
Yeah, I think that Thanos is too small. Everybody raved about that Thanos. It's like, man, it's small.
He's tiny, man. Like, I mean, if you put him next to the 80th anniversary Hulk, like, I mean, he shouldn't be that much smaller than the Hulk.
No. He, that's what kills me on some of these guys, when they review stuff, they're just too positive and like no one is. They see the flaws, but they won't tell you about the flaws. I don't want everybody to be super negative all the time, but
can I just say,
yeah,
can I just say I love that controller figure way more than I should. Like I genuinely, when I put it together, I was like, God damn it. I was like, I thought this was just going to be some crap I was going to complain about because it's just Thanos. And I got it and I was like, damn it. I like it way more than I should. That's on me. I'm not saying you should, but
you know what?
Sculpt wise, it is a good looking figure. It just needs to be a little bigger.
Yeah, I don't know how big he's supposed to be. I don't know anything about the character. So
he's been
shown.
Yeah, he's been shown at so many different sizes in the comics. I mean, in some of his appearances, especially early on with Iron Man, he looked like he was about 40 feet tall. So it just depends on how they drew him. But I don't know. There's like nothing going on with that figure. Like it's not. There's no sculpt. The paint work is minimum at best. There's nothing there. Really, there's no reason I should like that figure as much as I do. But for some reason, when I put him together, I was just like, damn, I really like this damn thing. So, yeah. But that,
Yeah, like I said, for him, I don't know anything about him. But I mean, guys like Thanos and stuff like that. Like, I mean, Terex, I know those guys are supposed to be big boys. You know what I mean? So,
besides the size on this mold, my other issue with this thing, that's as far as his arm can bend.
Wow.
Oh, they got him at the controller at 6'2", but I thought he would have been bigger than that.
But yeah, that's the range of motion on that elbow bend. How in the world would they allow that on a modern figure?
Yeah. No, objectively, it's a bad figure. Like across the board, that sculpt is bad. Like it's bulky-ish,
Yeah.
But objectively, it's bad. Like I didn't even get that Thanos. I kept my Walmart exclusive. That's the one I've got on my shelf because I think I like it better.
He's the same size as the Walmart one.
He's the same size, but the Walmart one has better articulation. I just like the sculpt better.
I agree. It's like when they made the new one and when they announced this, I figured, this is going to be the size of the Caliban or Apocalypse. No, he's smaller.
Yeah.
It's like, why? When you could have just they spent all this money tooling this when they could just use Apocalypse.
Well, I think they do this all the time. They tool it with probably 10 to 20 figures in mind over the next decade. That's what they do. They're like, okay, and this is the one we're going to release it on, and then we're going to use it repeatedly for the next 10 years or whatever. That's what they did.
They forget, and they never do.
Yeah.
Because we have never got a reuse of Caliban.
Yeah.
And Caliban's a great mold for big characters, but not big as the Hulk. Let's see. What we got? Kitchen on the chat here. You think they want to fail, or just poor decision making, or on the chart, the not charger?
I don't know.
Can't justify spending $350 for a 1/12 scale car. I want to get a 1/6 scale vehicle cheaper. Than that. Those fancy LED lights don't add up to but no, it does not.
No, it doesn't at all.
No, it's like a $5 LED kit you can get off of Amazon.
It's plus they were trying to say, "Oh, it's got the most advanced electronics of any Marvel Legends we made." Well, you've only made 2 other Marvel Legends with lights, and it's Galactus and the Sentinel.
Mm-hmm.
Not including the gloves or whatever. I don't know if those gauntlets or anything light up or. There's. It's not even a detailed car. You can't open the hood. There's no working suspension. For that price point, it shouldn't look like a toy car. It should look like a detailed model.
Even the undercarriage was pretty plain.
The when they flip that over show at the bottom, it is so plastically and plain. It looks like a kid's toy.
Yeah.
Not a $350 premium piece. The exhaust pipe should have been separate pieces. Should have had a working suspension, coilovers. I've seen cheaper die-cast cars with almost the same size have all that stuff. Open the hood, you have a detailed engine.
You know what though? If they weren't going to do all that, then don't charge what you charged for it.
Yeah.
If they were going to do it the way they did it, that car is no. It's not worth more than $100. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Or if they would have just said from the get-go, $350, you get all 5 figures in the car. You get the Damien Hellstrom, you get the Mephisto, you get the Goblin Queen, what's her name? Goblin Queen?
Madeline
Pryor. Whatever.
Yeah.
And you get both versions of Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider. You get those 5 figures. That's only a $100 investment for them at that point. And then you're selling the car for $250 essentially, right? And people would have bought that shit up. 5 figures plus the car for $350. Like people would have bought that up. I think that would have hit goal in a week, easy. I mean, I still think it would be overpriced, but I think it would have been successful.
Well, the his tank was $300, and you get all that stuff, and it funded in 8 hours.
Yeah.
But then again, that Joe stuff is killing them too, man. They're up
Joe
there
team,
top tier right now.
Yeah, the Joe's team is kicking ass.
Well, the Joe stuff is killing themselves at this point. They just did that whole whatever that thing they were just at. Did not so much as show a single photo of a new figure. And you're talking about the line in the last 30, 40 years that has the most amount of characters, existing characters outside of Marvel, ready to go, that have already been made into figures that people already have fond memories of as kids, that people want to get a hold of now that they have disposable income. And they're not pumping out nearly as many figures as they should be with that G.I. Joe line, because there are people clamoring to get every single one of them. I mean, there was more G.I. Joe figures in the 80s than there were multiple other toy lines combined.
The current staff at Hasbro hates their own property, G.I. Joe. Don't know why, but they do. I'm surprised that they've let them do as well as they've done. They think they thought it was like for years, or kept saying for years, there's no market for war toys. Like,
well, and they've got and look, you talk about a line that has like ultimate, multiple purchases for the same figure. I mean, troop building that's straight up from G.I. Joe in the 80s. That idea of buying, 5, 10, 15, 20 of a single figure. Like that's what people were doing with G.I. Joe. And there are people who are actively still doing that now with what little G.I. Joe figures are out there, whether it's the Bats or the Ninjas or whatever, right? Or the Cobra officers and all this stuff. Like they've got customers waiting to buy this stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like just waiting, like give us everything you have, make it available, and we will buy it up. The people wanting to buy out G.I. Joe are more rabid than people waiting around for Marvel Legends at this point.
Oh,
And
yeah.
they are killing themselves with this stuff.
Not putting product out is the worst thing they can do. Well, look what they're doing with that damn Target exclusive crap.
Yeah.
How many times are we going to have to approve? Yes, I still want the Outback.
Yeah.
They send it. I think it's a game to them right now. I don't think they have the figures. I think they send them all to Toys R Us to Canada.
You guys need?
Well, yeah, because every time I see a review online, it's somebody who's got a channel in Canada, and they're like, "Oh, I just went and picked up these 20 figures, and they were all there." I'm like,
You guys need a hookup.
But
I haven't walked into a Toys R Us for ages, though.
there's none
they're-
around me. I mean, it's.
No, they're just.
I mean.
Well, Dom's up in Canada, so.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind then.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
So
But
we got them
that's
here, but they're only in Canada. Is like, or they're only in Macy's now. Is like a little small section.
They keep saying they're going to open up those little, what do they call them? The little mini stores in malls and stuff like that. Kind of similar to what KB used to be. They've been talking about that for a year and a half. You know,
the Toys Express.
Yeah, Express. And
I haven't seen one.
None around me. So
Yeah,
I would love for Toys R Us to open back up. I mean, even
they're you know what though, they're burying themselves up here too, because the prices are $10 more than you would spend at GameStop or whatever. Like, I mean, they're selling Marvel Legends and Star Wars Black Series figures. Like, okay, up here, a price, if you go to GameStop, you're spending $34.99 on a Legend. That's the going rate up here. But you go to Toys R Us, you'll get that same Marvel Legends figure for $42, $43, $44.
Jesus,
that's insane, man. Like, I mean, 35 is one thing, but it's kind of like the going rate as opposed to 25 down there in the States.
Well, they're calling that new Noir with the little figurine of
yeah,
the 2-pack.
Did I tell you about that? That Spider-Man Noir was with the pack-in of what's his name?
Spider-Ham.
They were considering that a 2-pack, and they were charging $84 for $85.
Well, it's the same thing they did with the Mojo pack. They're calling that Wolverine a 4-figure, and they're adding a $24 extra price on it because they're calling it an extra figure, and it's a figurine.
Well, somebody
figurines are not figures; it's accessory.
Yeah, so
if there's no articulation, it's an accessory.
Yeah, it's been like that for a while. It was up to like 80. I can't remember if the price was like $82.99. So basically, what ended up happening was, I guess somebody said something a few weeks later, because now it's priced down to the price of a regular figure, which is still too much at Toys R Us. It's $45.
I still can't get over people were. Some of these people will eat up no matter how stupid it is. Get excited. The MCU, Howard the Duck, and Ant-Man in the head in a jar. Neither one of the things are figures. The Howard the Duck has no articulation from the waist down, and they're charging $25 for it.
They're on crack.
A head in a jar, and people were excited about that. It's like, what? Why are you excited over them ripping you off?
Well, what about the like we said, the Spider-Ham that came with the Monster Venom wave? That thing was crazy. That thing, did it even have articulation? And they were charging the price as a regular figure?
It had upper body moved, but no lower body movement.
Yeah.
Well, that's crazy. Like, I mean, people, like, everybody pretty much that wanted that Monster Venom Was it Monster Venom? Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody ended up having to buy it if they wanted to build the Build-A-Figure. Meanwhile, and then what they did was they pissed everybody off later on because they released the actual. Well, I know it's a different character because the Build-A-Figure is supposed to be Matt Gargan, and the deluxe figure is actually Eddie Brock. So
Same figure, just different paint.
Okay,
Well,
nobody look behind me, but I have that stupid shitty Spider-Ham.
I got it
I've
too,
got it
but
too because I built the Monster Venom. So
I know I
Anyone
did too. I just because I bought the whole wave. I admittedly I'm a Spider-Man simp. Like anything Spider-Man, I'm gonna buy. So
back when Walgreens actually used to get Marvel Legends, I walked in and they had the entire wave. I walked out with it.
yeah, no, I had actually pre-ordered mine on Big Bad Toy Store. I had pre-ordered the wave like as soon as it went up. I can't remember. I want to say it was like 4 months before they went for sale. I waited a while to get them in, and I had ordered the whole wave all at once, and they all showed up. So I was like, man, Spider-Man, why not? I'm that dumbass that will buy anything Spider-Man. So
I put that last little finishing touch on my Frankie Ray Nova head. Just glossed up the eyes.
that looks good.
And I don't know what it is with this. Part of a $400 set, and did not get her head correct. Her head is not comic book correct. One, it's undersized. Besides that, she's supposed to have 2 triangular horns on the top of her head, on each side of like the hair is not supposed to be making like a widow's peak, and it's her forehead. It's actually her character design has 2 triangular horns on each side of the head. They did not sculpt that. I was like, well, they're going to do a Frankie Ray. It gives them a use to make a Lilith. They could reuse this head sculpt for Lilith, mother of all monsters.
Mm-hmm.
But nope, they did not even get the head sculpt right. I thought maybe they reused the head, but no, it's got pointy ears. So they made a new head completely inaccurate to the source material.
Wow.
And for some reason, painted eyebrows on her. She's not supposed to have eyebrows either.
Again, for the price point, you shouldn't have to be correcting the figure.
nope, not at all.
Yeah, figures they release. They're talking about you got to fix them.
You guys want to hear something funny? Going back to that Spider-Ham thing, you know that there was a Disney Store toy box figure. It came with a vehicle, Peter Parker figure, a Spider-Man figure, and a fully articulated Spider-Ham for like up here was like $25 Canadian. So it was dirt cheap down there. And it was actually a fully articulated Spider-Ham.
Oh,
I bought it. I bought it. I have it somewhere stored away, but yeah, I mean, this thing was a little bit smaller than the one that came from the Monster Venom wave. But again, he was fully articulated, just like a Marvel Legend. Biceps, thighs, knees, everything. Neck. He had the ball joint everywhere, shoulders. And like I said, you get that figure with a Spider-Man. Like obviously, it was they called it the box, Disney the box or whatever, Marvel toy box or whatever. That was the line. But yeah, it came with a vehicle and everything, and it was less than the price of a Marvel Legend figure.
It's pardon the language anymore. It seems like right now they want to basically shit on a plate and call it chocolate mousse and have everybody lap it up.
Yep.
this thing right here, this little teeny tiny thing that comes with Phantom from NECA, is more articulated than Spider-Ham. It has ball joint arms that actually move around. The tail actually moves and is on a ball joint, and the legs are on a ball joint.
Wow.
This has better this teeny tiny little thing that was a little pack in with Phantom is better articulated than Spider-Ham is.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, Grogu. The tiny little Grogu. It's got articulation all over it. That little micro figure.
Yeah.
And the spider hand that they released there, that's actually pretty big for the character. So they had no reason why they couldn't add articulation in there.
No, there was no reason. Was it? I saw some people. There's an import figure of Spider-Man as a chibi, and people were taking that head and putting that Spider-Ham head on it and making a fully articulated. Way behind on the chat. If a new figure is made, those new fisherman molds. Yeah, if you got the old molds up from the fishing boats, you get the scratches and this smell. Watch Anthony Customs get to get the fair reviews. Yeah, he does. He will tell you. And when they send him a figure, he makes it clear to them, like, you do realize I'm going to review this. I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
Well, you know what, guys? I watch Collector Express reviews and I watch Geek Fusion reviews, and these guys don't hold back either. So they're also fair when they come to reviewing figures. So
Morg, I love that Morg sculpt and design. He's too small. And we'll never get another Morg. Not going to happen. They spent the money to make those molds, and they will never make another Morg.
They should have painted up all the silver on them, though.
Absolutely. That's what it's so dull looking. That's why I mentioned the waist piece is painted silver, and the rest of it's all that flat silver plastic. He can pretend that small Thanos is preteen Thanos before he hits his growth spurt. Based on offerings for any crowdfunding things, it should be worth the cost, the asking price. So, yeah, the base thing should be worth the asking price. The bonus items should not make it worth the buy.
Absolutely.
They should release a different figure for them Big Ben. Yeah, Big Ben. At the UK Comic Con, they show they're going to do Big Ben and a female Cobra Trooper 2-pack. Which I'll get at least 2 of the female 2-packs, the female Cobra Trooper 2-packs, probably even 3. I like the troop build. If they ever make them. It's like we were talking about, it's getting those things out.
Mm-hmm.
You could actually, DaGobiCustoms was talking about they could make tunnel wrap. Let's see.
Speaking of complaining about figures, I know we talked about it after the chat yesterday, but man, that Spawn figure has me so pissed off because I got so excited for that damn thing.
Yeah, I understand, man. I was excited too until we were talking about it. Like, damn it.
And then I went back and watched Foos's video again. And he points it out in the video, but then he like ignores it and never says anything about it again. He's like, oh, it looks like the shoulders come up and oh yeah. And you can see this gaping hole on his figures on both sides. And then he's just like, oh, but it's a great figure. I'm like, uh-huh. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I like Robo, but he's very positive.
Which is why I watch him, honestly.
Yeah.
Like there's some people you watch, I know Talker Art, and we talk on the phone sometimes. And when I want to be pissed off about stuff, I watch his stuff.
Yep.
And when I want to get happy about toys, I watch Pixel Dan or Fwoosh or whatever. My favorite channel is Toy Galaxy. I love them, although they don't do toys anymore, which is kind of annoying. But
you don't talk about toys.
Yeah, I'm just like. That was the best stuff he did.
A few years ago, when he talked about the reason why he got out of toy collecting, he sold his toys off. And
yeah,
dude, you're Toy Galaxy. How can you do a toy show? It's kind of great, but yeah,
I love his stuff. I miss all the top 10s and all the stuff, and he still collects toys because he's got his B channel, which I'm subscribed to. Okay. And he does toy stuff on there, whenever remember he used to do the mailbox stuff, people would send him stuff, and he does his top 10s for the year.
I didn't know he had a B channel.
Yeah, it's called Toy Galaxy 2, as in TOO.
Oh, okay.
And I've been subscribed since he started that channel, and it's a great channel, but he doesn't post a lot of content there. But at least what he does post there is all toy related. So, but you know, it's not like I was used to getting at least one new video from him a week. Actually, he was doing 2 there for years. He would do 1 video of whatever it was, and then he would do a mailbox video every, you know, Dan in the photo booth. And you know, and then he just started doing all this, which fine. I mean, he was doing what he wants with his channel, but like, I just feel like it's a waste, or not a waste, I guess, for him, but like for the rest of us, because I think I mean, there was a time when I would have easily said he was the best toy channel on YouTube, hands down.
Oh yeah.
So, and now it's just like,
well, that's one of the reasons I don't really watch him that much. You don't have much toy content.
yeah.
I was like,
So,
if I want, his content he makes is great and very well produced. Which
yeah.
I think he's got.
I think my conspiracy theory is that it's I forget the other guy's name that does all the producing, that does the videos and stuff for him.
Yeah.
I forget that guy's name, but like, because it was like, he would talk about it even in his videos. He's like, oh, so-and-so's the movie guy, and so-and-so's the TV show guy. I'm the toy guy, blah, blah, blah. And now all they do is like movies and TV show stuff. And I'm just like, I know whose idea that was. So
that was now for like toy introspectives. You got to go to other channels like was it Retro Blasting and Analog Toys? They do
Retro Blasting's great. I like him. Although I swear to God, I like his channel, but sometimes he depresses the shit out of me. He did. Like, yeah. Anyway, but he's usually right on everything. So
he's been against HasLab from its inception.
Oh yeah.
That one toy channel tried to accuse him of buying a sail barge and lying about it and making up a person.
Oh yeah.
It's like he went to Australia and delivered the sail barge to the dude, and the guy was still trying to say he was making it up.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. Have my channel bill afford me a trip to Australia.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing good to buy a Happy Meal with what I make all my meal. Let's see, is there a Toys R Us open somewhere, or am I missing something? In Canada, they're still open. They never shut down in Canada, and now they're putting them in Macy's, as little. Their toy section's basically branded at Toys R Us now in Macy's. They would, but they will never do that. G.I. Joe was accessory pack for sale. Look at what Valver's doing. He made his first $1 million on accessory packs. He sold $1 million worth of guns and accessory packs on that Wave 1. Howard the Duck, Howard Duck is a ripoff. My dream would be reopen again just because they're huge. Store of Toys revisit the past. Now they're still open in Canada, so if you want to make a trip up that way, they're still there. Just expect to pay about 30% more than what you should.
Mm-hmm.
Boxes. Wonder of why they would. Well, they don't have accessory packs. I never would. Yeah, accessory packs would be great. Have like harness, especially since they don't give them anything anymore. I talked to DaGobiCustoms earlier tonight. He bought one of those White Panthers in that new wave. He's like, I had to rob this and this and this off of this figure here just to make them look like the way he's supposed to. I was like, you shouldn't have to do that because everything you name is Hasbro figures. They had the molds for that. They're charging $25 for a figure with no accessories. A white figure with 2 guns and 2 hands, 2 sets of hands.
No paint whatsoever.
Yep. My hope is one day we'll get a decent classic Blade Runner line. Oh, that would be cool.
That would be.
NECA had a good start, but only 4 figures from the new movie. Yeah. Hot take, some of the Valverse figures have thin arms, short legs. I can see that. Yep. Speaking of gaping holes, that McFarlane and the Endless Wonder Woman had a massive gap cut in the back. I'm not familiar with the figure, but I'll take your word on it. It sounds bad. I thought it was going to be something bad when you said massive gaping hole. So there's one thing about being positive reviewer. There's also sugarcoating stuff that gets so ridiculous. Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, we see a lot of that.
Elites, Legends, Articulation Ninja. Okay, Articulate Ninja had my attention lately. Yeah, he finds all kinds of stuff that works with Legends. You can get like accessories and different things. Articulate Ninja, yeah. I don't really watch a lot of toy channels anymore after having a toy channel.
Yeah.
I don't want to be influenced by other people's reviews and like subconsciously.
Well, and that's what I do with my other channel. That's why I got into toys about 10 years ago, because I had been doing my other channel at that point for about 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I started getting real tired of watching videos about the same stuff that I was doing videos on. And I started watching toy videos back in like 2012, 13, I don't know, whenever it was. And that got me back into collecting, was watching toy videos on YouTube. And which I hadn't collected toys since the 90s. And that got me back into it because I was just really tired of watching all the same stuff that I was doing on my channel at that time. You know, and it was just like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to keep this channel fun for me. And it's not fun for me if I'm sitting here watching a bunch of other people do the same thing or talk about the same things or whatever it is. So I just kind of stopped watching all that stuff. I mean, I've got, you know, friends in that side of YouTube, and we all talk on the live chats and stuff and do all kinds of stuff. But that's different than going in. Like, I don't watch any of their videos, and they know that, you know. I don't like I've got a real good friend of mine I've known for 12 years on YouTube, and I never watch a single one of his videos.
Yeah.
And, you know,
well, we mentioned that you talker art. His content is funny. It's like he breaks. Of course, just a little bit of warning: if you don't like raunchy talk, sometimes his videos gets deep in the raunch.
No, he's a funny dude. I've talked to him on the phone a few times because he watches my other channel, so you know, I've talked to him a few times, and
I couldn't believe it though. They went after him for his little funny comments. He calls those two guys for Hasbro. He was got the Barbie twins.
Yeah, well, and like
they're grown men that dress alike.
I know. Well, it's not only that, but like, and good for him because I really like him, and I like his channel, because it's not just plain toy reviews and stuff, right? Like, there's more to it with the content, but like, all the people that thought they were coming down on him, like, did exactly what he wanted. Yep. Like, that's what he does with his channel, is like poke people and instigate things to see what people will get triggered. And people did. And it did nothing but good things for him and his channel. And I think he deserves that because I think he's got a great channel.
No, he got a big boost after that too.
Yeah, he did. And good for him, because I think more people should watch his stuff. But I just think it was funny that people played right into what he was doing.
I really wish the Lobo figure included dog or space hog. Hopefully, there was a rumor that he's going to do the space hog, but we haven't seen anything about it. Maybe dog could come with the bike. That would be great, because when they did the Bruce Wayne bike for the Batman, they had a helmet, or alternate head, which is a helmet head. And they bring that with a dog. Be like a figurine or something. Articulate Ninja is great because of him. Those McFarlane Warhammer figures. Yeah, the Warhammer figures are cool.
Dude, those things, I know I've said this before. That's my favorite line of figures right now, is those McFarlane Warhammer figures. They are awesome. And the fact that you can pick them up for like $20 a piece. And they are amazing. Like, they're doing better stuff at $20 than a lot of that stuff that SH Figure Arts is doing at $35, $40, and $45. And those figures, that's the best thing McFarlane's doing right now, is those Warhammer figures, hands down.
Yeah. I want to massive truth here, like Super 7 disappointment. I'm just going to, I don't have to say like a Silverhawks. I'm just going to say the whole thing. Everything they do is a disappointment.
The first of the Super 7 stuff that ever caught my attention was those Ninja Turtles, those retro style Ninja Turtles with slightly better articulation.
Yeah.
And they looked kind of cool, but I will never buy Super 7 products because for the amount of money you're paying for those things, there are so many better figures you can get. And even when, and especially with like Ninja Turtles, right? Like I'd much rather have NECA's stuff than their stuff because it's better and it's way cheaper. So I think Super 7 is, and look, they got their audience, because nobody else is doing Silverhawks and nobody else is doing Thundercats, which I think is a mistake. I think they should give that license to somebody else because that stuff could sell.
The problem is they don't own the Thundercats. That is a license, but Warner Brothers actually sold them Silverhawks, flat out. They own it. So nobody can do Silverhawks except getting through. If they want to do Silverhawks, they get a license through Super 7 to do them.
Oh wow!
Super 7 Silverhawks look to be a dual disappointment. Yeah, what they showed is what the figures upcoming. They look like knockoff figures. They're terrible. Wow. Oh, they make Hot Wing before the Copper Kid. Yeah, Copper Kid was like, well, you make the main cast, then you do all the sub figures. Hot Wing was like near the end of the show. I got fed up with all the moaning and a lot of the toy channels. I watch a couple now. Yeah, you do have some channels they get into like the I call it toy drama. They want to like badmouth stuff where it really don't need to be badmouthed. There's one thing like when you complain about Super 7's build quality, like that Wave 2 with Mum-Ra, Tigra, Pumara, and Groom, those figures were shit. And they're doing Snarf, and he's a full price $55 figure.
Wow.
Snarf.
You should have come with the kids at least.
Yeah. He should be a pack-in with another figure. Like he originally was. Take Talker Art. He's a little funny. Talker Art got a lot more love after that one guy made that top 10 reviewers video. Oh yeah, that dude with that little tiny channel. He probably got more views on that channel on that video when he made that top 10 list than he ever thought he would. I don't know. People watch stuff I don't watch. When people make a top 10 list like that, that's their preference. But
exactly.
Some stuff, yeah, I never even heard a lot of the channels he talks about, and some of them are like defunct now. It's like one person was trying to make fun of it, like another toy channel was trying to make fun of that list, and it's like, well, I don't know who the guy in the Spider-Man pajamas is, dude. You don't know who Glenn Webb was.
Yeah,
you shouldn't have a toy channel.
Wait, somebody didn't know who Glenn Webb was?
Yeah, some toy channel.
In that video?
Yeah, somebody try to like make fun of like, oh, I don't even know who the guy in the Spider-Man pajamas are. It's like you have a toy channel and you're trying to say you don't know who Glenn Webb was.
I mean, you to this day can't even do a search for practically anything and not find at least one Glenn Webb video in a YouTube search.
He was basically, if he didn't pass away, he'd still be a top tier channel.
Oh, yeah.
It was a shock when he passed away, like all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
what was that, 2016 or?
It's been a while.
No.
And it freaked people out, too.
2017?
He had a lot of videos in the queue to release. And after it was announced he passed away and the videos kept coming out. It was like, it was like, people were like thinking or questioning, did he actually pass away or was it fake? And but let's see.
That was a shock though.
Yeah. Let's see. Put some background music on.
You got any Metallica on there?
Not if I want to stay monetized. They actually
You gotta
let
be
you
careful,
upload,
man.
Yeah.
They came after me twice in the last week. Warner Music Group came after me for StreamYard music.
Oh yeah, I've heard that people like saying that.
Yeah, they're just claiming it's theirs.
Yeah. Somebody is claiming StreamYard like this right here, the night driving. Of course,
Yeah.
I acknowledge it.
And I even had to go and get a letter from StreamYard, and they sent me a copy of a legal letter saying that this is their music, that their users have the right to use this music, and that anybody that claims it's their music is violating StreamYard's copyright. I had to go through trouble because they were trying to hit my channel with some copyright strikes to get it shut down because I had StreamYard music in front of my live chats. I was like,
Wow.
I'll put the Collector Express intro music on there so they can't claim it because my buddy made it. That does the comic book unboxings. I told him don't ever delete it off your. He's got a digital pedal. He made it up. He put it on. Don't ever delete the music off that pedal. That's your guarantee. If somebody ever comes after us, we can go after them.
oh, by the way, I opened this thing.
Oh, Dog. Nice.
God, this thing is fucking huge. Like, I don't know where I'm going to put. He has a 1.75 foot wingspan. He's almost 2 feet wide.
Is that the same wings as Goliath, though, right?
Yeah, it's the same everything really as Goliath. A different facial expression.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. But
his name is Goliath backwards.
it's just, he's huge. This is the first one I've gotten. I've been putting this off since they introduced this line because I love gargoyles, but I was like, I don't need another line to collect.
Yeah,
and I just kept being impressed every time I'd buy a NECA figure. I've got all the Defenders of the Earth stuff, you know. I've got a couple other things here and there I've been picking up, and I was like, man, okay, fine, I'll pick one up. And I found this guy pretty cheap. He was like $33 or something, and like I don't know whether he's huge.
You know what? It's
the paint and build quality on those. I'm hooked.
Oh, dude, the paint and sculpt on this guy is amazing. It's gorgeous. When you look at something like this for, you know, what, they're around $35, give or take, something like that, right? When you look at the build quality on that and then look at some of the stuff that Marvel Legends is trying to put out for that $30 to $35 price range, and you're like, well, there's no comparison.
Like we were talking about Super 7, there's 55, 60 and up.
Yeah.
Come on, Matt. What are you doing to me, man? I was on the fence because I got Goliath. It's still in the box, and I'm fighting the urge to go all in on these gargoyles because they look fantastic.
Go on,
yeah. Thanks a lot, buddy.
He said, buy me.
Yeah.
I need a home. Look at that.
You, man. It's so hard to pass up.
I got them all on pre-order. I got Goliath, Thalrog, what's the dog's name?
Bronx,
right?
Yeah.
Demona, and I got the rest of them on pre-order. All the ones available.
This is the first one I got, and I was like, you know, I was like, whatever, fine. And then I got him out, and I'm like, he's really good. Like, and it's exactly what I knew was going to happen, which is now I want the rest of them. Like, that's why I didn't buy one in the first place. I've been passing up on them for months, exactly for this reason. Well, what did it for me? I'll tell you what did it for me. It was that Bride of Frankenstein April O'Neil figure that I've got up there. And then this damn Lothar figure right there is by far the best figure of the year.
Yep.
From anybody. This Lothar figure is perfect. It's perfect. There's nothing that you could do different to make this figure better.
Yep.
It's the perfect action figure. And I got those two, and I was just like, all right, fine. I'll get one of these.
I saw Lothar locally and I passed them because I got them on pre-order. I got all three of that wave on pre-order at the Chosen Prime.
Yeah.
So
I've got so far. I've got Phantom, Flash Gordon, Lothar, and Ming, and I keep passing on Mandrick because I don't know. I just don't like the way. I just don't care about Mandrick, but I'll probably end up buying him. But I'm gonna wait till I'm noticing he's like peg warming at Target. So
well, yeah,
I'm gonna wait till he goes down in price. Like that's why I didn't get Ming until like he was the last one I got because he finally dropped down. I picked him up for $19.99 with free shipping because nobody wanted Ming, and so I'm gonna wait for Mandrick to go down in price because I don't want to pay full price for him. So
you know what?
I hate that I missed out on the movie repaint of Ming and Flash.
That I did want, but that thing's still selling for like $60, which I'm sure it's worth it, 60, 70, whatever that thing costs. I can't remember. I like they've got them at my local Walmart, but I just don't want to pay that much for them right now.
They sold out here instantly.
Yeah, there was one. I just saw one yesterday when I was at Walmart. They had it over there, so they've still got it. I don't want to. When I already have the other ones, I'm like, I don't. It's cool, and I love the movie, but I'm not ready to drop that much on something that's just a repaint of something I already have yet.
Yeah, I just like the color scheme and stuff like that, and they've made advances too. Like on the like you said, Lothar is like he's better than the other ones because
dude, I mean,
listened to fan input and actually fixed issues. Like they quit painting the joints and the hinges.
Yeah. They started molding, like he's all molded in the all his joints are molded in the color instead of painted.
One color plastic.
I mean, I've seen like Mezco figures that don't have this level of detail.
Yep.
I mean, this thing's great. I can see why he was hard to find and was selling out everywhere. I just got lucky and rolled into Target one day and they had a couple of them sitting there, and I was like, "Well, I'm taking one."
Southpaw Paint Apps, a person that didn't like Glenway videos, but give him props for effect. He's one of the first Legends reviewers back in the day. Well, he was a big customizer too, so he was a big advocate for customizing. What's the song that you usually play that's the 70s jam? Oh, the Night Driving that's on StreamYard? Yeah.
No, I think he means your actual
what's playing in the background now? That's my buddy Brad that does the comic book unboxings, Archman Comics. He actually made that. He dabbles in music and he made that really cool stuff. Like that's one of the coolest sounding things he's done. Is had on that pedal. It's like he had two of the themes we're going to pick from. On my earliest videos, it's got both of them. It's got this one is the intro and the other one's the outro. The other one sounds like too much like 70s porn music, so it dropped out. That song, yeah. That's made by my friend Brad. I can't believe they made Super 7 Tiger as big chest as he was. He ended up canceling the Chitara. Yeah, Chitara looks like a mom in cosplay. She's not. Yeah. She's not like she doesn't have a body of a runner. I love your intro music. Appreciate that. It's all my friend Brad. Does he have a wider wingspan than Goliath? It's the
same.
Yeah, it's the same figure. Looks like they're going to start doing packing in the folded down wings on a lot of figures. So
I wish it would make him a much easier display.
Yeah. During SDCC, they showed Demona with folded down wings. So somebody's got to be coming for wings. Because having all the gargoyles with the wings out, that's a big display.
That
needs to be default. Bump the price up a couple dollars. Give us the wings, the fold down wings in the box. I'll pay the extra a couple dollars to get those wings. Box of cannons. I have a few gargoyles now. I haven't been disappointed with any of them. Yeah, they're nice. Oh, and gargoyles also work with Mythic Legions. I can see that. They look. I got the Goliath. I bought two Goliaths. I got one of them in my Master Universe Classics display. He fits in perfectly there too. What other universe brand comics would you like to make action figures of? And another universe brand, I mean, not Marvel and DC. I like to eventually do like some Wildcats and Gen 13.
Can I cheat here? I'm gonna go. I'm gonna. It's not Marvel or DC, but yet it is. I would love some Amalgam Comics figures.
Oh, yep.
I would
Yeah.
absolutely love that.
Oh, the
Like-
light, that would be crazy though. Getting them to work together.
Dark Claw and all those figures. I loved those comics back in the day. They were great. I thought they were actually really well done, and they got really creative with how they combined those characters.
Speed Demon with the Flash and Ghost Rider.
Mm-hmm.
That was
There were
cool.
some cool characters, man. There were some really cool characters.
I like that.
Oh, Matt, I was just gonna say earlier, if you're looking for a reason to buy that Mandrake, like when it goes on, and I don't know if you know, I don't know anything about Mandrake or whatever. I know the character, but nothing about him. He can easily fit in with a McFarlane DC display as John Zatara.
Yeah, me and Jerry were just talking about that last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would. I just don't want to pay full price for him. I mean, I want the figure because I want to finish the collection. I just don't want to pay $35 for him because it's just like with Ming. Like the other ones, I was okay paying full price for. But those two, I was like, So he just got released, and I'm gonna just wait until he comes down a little bit, and then I'll pick him up. But because I've got all the rest of them, and I want that. What is it, Gargax? I think is the new one that they just announced.
Yeah.
So I want to get him too. He looks pretty cool. I know they've got two different versions of him coming out, but
the online store, the online store's got a different variant, different paint job, a different head sculpt.
Yeah. So I want to pick those up.
I haven't seen any of those figures, and you know what? I guess this comes down to another toy line that I don't want to collect. So
that's
glad they're not really accessible.
That's what I said about these.
Yeah.
And look what happened.
Yeah.
Look what happened.
I've been fighting the G.I. Joe line for the longest time.
That one, I can't figure out why you're fighting, man. They're better than Marvel Legends.
You know what though?
They
I have some. I have Storm Shadow. I have both versions of Snake Eyes with the wolf and without. And what else do I have? I have a Red Ninja. But I mean, like, I don't know. I don't have the room for G.I. Joe. Like, as much as I loved them growing up.
I've got a small collection too. I've only got about 12 figures from G.I. Joe right now. And and it's the same reason. I got so much other stuff that I like them, and I pick them up. Like I just got Baroness a couple weeks ago because I walked into Walmart, had no interest in that figure, and then walked into Walmart and saw her sitting there on the retro card, and it's a fantastic figure. Like it really is. It's a really, really good figure, and so I pick them up occasionally. It depends, where I find them. I went into Walmart the other day and they had Crocmaster in there, and there was only one on the shelf, and I was like, oh crap, Crocmaster. And I went and I was like, I'm gonna see how much this is, and I scanned it. It was $45. I was like, nope, not doing that today. So I put it back. But I like them. They're fantastic figures. But I'm just not willing to spend a whole lot of money on them because it is a whole nother line of stuff. So when I find them for good deals, or at least retail, because those figures go up quick, man, on the secondary market. They sell out and they shoot up in price. And I can't afford to do that with a line that, I'm already doing that like an idiot with Marvel Legends and McFarlane. So
yeah. Well, like I said, I got that thing in my head where I'm just gonna collect a few of the basic Joes, like Duke and Scarlet, and I got Snake Eyes, and I'll just get Cobra Commander, and then I'll get Destro, and then now Serpentor's coming out, Mindbender's, you know what I mean? Like say, then there's the Dreadnoks, you know what I mean? And it's like, where's it gonna stop, right?
Yeah. But they're really, really good. I mean, better than Marvel Legends. There's not a lot out there that's better than what G.I. Joe is right now. Just even though they don't have as anywhere near as many figures as they should, they've still got a lot of figures out, a good selection of figures. They're doing much better stuff at the same price as Marvel Legends and everything else. And you know, McFarlane. Now McFarlane's got great sculpts, but they lack in paint, and there's some other areas, and they have issues there too. I think overall the Classifieds line is better than McFarlane, basically better than anything McFarlane is doing except for Warhammer. So they're doing really good stuff. You know, it's hard. It's hard not to want to collect them at this point for me. You know what I mean? Like I want to collect them. I'm just like, I'm intentionally stopping myself.
Yeah, those Warhammer figures do look pretty cool.
Yeah, they're great. I've only got 2 figures that I don't have yet. I've got one of the I forget which one he's called. He's one of the Primuses, the big red Primus.
Just do it.
Yeah, I know. But
Okay, let's see. Get trouble here. Motu line looks great. Said I missed them. Yeah, but Classics was awesome. And that was my biggest disappointment when they said they're going to do Masterverse. A lot of us, like Motu collectors and stuff, thought like, oh, they're going to like update the Motu Classics figures and read some retail, like what they said they would do years ago. No, all new bucks. Got to start over. So I was like, okay, I'm out. I'll cherry pick a couple of them.
no, that's what I did.
Yeah, the Grifter doesn't count as Wildcats anymore since he belongs to DC. Well, all the Wildcats belong to DC and Gen 13 because they belong to Jim Lee. And when Jim Lee brought him over when he's in charge of DC. Oh, we missed Gary. He went to bed. Would you have Daddy Mac or would you rather have Daddy Mac or Hasbro do the amalgam figures?
I would want 6-inch scale figures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The problem is, though, Hasbro's going to want to cheap out.
Yeah. And I don't mind reuse. Reuse doesn't bother me. I grew up in the 80s. Everything was reused.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's just when, you know, it needs to be done right.
Modesto fell asleep on us.
I thought I heard somebody snore.
Yeah, that was a snore. Modesto! He's out. I'm going to mute him for a second. I think if Hasbro would do them right, they would do it very well.
Oh, jeez.
But if Hasbro would actually do them right, they can get by without reuse, but some things is going to require a lot of molding, though.
Yeah.
Like Iron Man, basically the Iron Lantern, that would be an easy one. Green, two-tone green Iron Man.
Yeah.
Which, retooled the chest a little bit for the Iron Lantern symbol.
Even
Super Soldier.
Yeah, that'd be easy.
Yeah, Super Soldier will just they can do a wolf cap, use the Grim Reaper wolf cap style body.
Yeah, it just needs a new head. They've already got the shields molded.
Yep.
So I mean, they've got everything they would need for that except the head. They just redo the head.
They need a new shield because the Super Soldier used the Kal-El, the House of L's shield style.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's touching up the. Getting ready. I'm working on Big Daddy G's new home. Looking at some of my figures, like the SDC Gladiator. His paint is terrible, so I was touching it up.
That sucks that we've been hearing that a lot about paint on these figures sucking so bad. Like, like especially you consider the price. Like, you do a lot of touching up on the figures every week, and it's good for the show. But you actually think about it, it's pretty sad that you got to do as much as you're doing.
Yeah, not everybody can do what I can do.
Exactly. So I mean, the people who don't have, the customizing bug, haven't been bit by it, or don't have the talent for it,
Even myself, I'm getting tired of having to fix every figure I buy right now.
Yeah,
it's making me want to just check out. I haven't had to fix any of my Joes, but I got to fix all my Legends.
This is the number one figure that I'm worried about opening for paint issues.
Oh,
Because every example of this figure, even in the promo shots, they could not get the white to black line right.
Yep.
Not one. I've not seen a single one of these figures. I haven't opened them up yet. I need to do a video on them, but I haven't done it yet because I know when I open this thing, it's going to have paint issues. Because even the promo photos don't look right. You can see that it's off, that the lines are off, or there's a little, little foggy edge instead of a nice crisp line or something.
I was gonna say, if you're gonna open that now, we gotta get ready for the censor.
I've seen that one's been hitting clearance at Target.
Oh yeah, no, I picked this one up in the Iron Spider. I picked up several figures that I normally wouldn't have gotten. It was this one, Iron Spider, Madam Hydra. I can't remember. It was a several figures total where I got that $25 off discount.
Oh,
where
yeah.
you buy $100 worth of stuff, you get $25 off. So I basically paid like $20 for him, which is the only reason I got him,
right?
Because I wasn't going to pay full price for him. And yeah, Target's been doing some good sales lately. So I that's where I got him and the other ones. And but I already know the problems with the Iron Spider having two-tone red on him. Because of the plastic doesn't match the paint and stuff. So I know that one's going to be another one that I haven't opened yet because I just haven't been real. That's sad because, I collect toys because they're fun and they bring a little happiness, and it's like
those as premium higher price point figures too.
Yeah, and they're sucking the joy out of this stuff. You know what I mean? Whether it's the plastic-free packaging or the pricing or the QC issues or all of that combined, it's starting to suck the joy out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And they need to I hate the fact they're lying for the reason too for the plastic-free packaging. There's it's good for the environment. No, you're wanting to save money on the packaging. Mm-hmm. Quit lying. Well, that's what got the Hasbro team caught when they did that interview Bug Night when they were saying, we got just as much work in this Charger as do the Sentinel and the Galactus. Really?
Yeah. Wow.
After that, and he, like I said, he was on their side, and they lost even more after that. I got duplicates of Joe, so I can do part swaps. Yeah, they're good for customizing. That's one of my popular videos right now on the channel is the kit G.I. Joe kit bashes and customs. If you have 12 different Joe classified figures, you can basically have all that's been released so far of other than the repaints. Well, yeah, they only they've been limited number of bodies, but they reuse the parts well.
Yeah, way better than Marvel Legends does.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And they're good about making overlays too and stuff like vest and stuff to hide it's the same torso or body.
Yeah.
Like the Red Ninja is Snake Eyes, just with an overlay over the top body.
Yeah, you can't even really tell.
Yeah. I wonder if they'll make a big bow or a crystal ball. But they don't seem to want to make fish out teams. Like when they're in another interview, they got somebody asked them about Thunderbolts. And they were talking about the original Thunderbolts with Citizen V as the leader, the original team. And they're like, well, we've visited them a few times. We got the SDC pack with Luke Cage. That was not the question. You were deflecting about something else. You could team and have the big Atlas figure as the jumbo figure in the box set. Atlas is like a Giant Man character. He grows big.
Sometimes I wonder what they're doing over there, and because there doesn't seem to be any common sense behind it. We're getting, I forget the dude's name, Boarhead, or whatever. Razorback. And like, there's just some basic figures that are blatantly missing from the line. Again, I'll go back to what I said earlier: the fact that we don't have a Danny Ketch Ghost Rider yet,
or Rick Jones.
Yeah, or Rick Jones, exactly. The number one sidekick
He's been a sidekick
outside of Robin, he is the most well-known sidekick in all of comic books.
He's been a sidekick to everybody in Marvel.
I mean, he's the reason the Hulk is the Hulk. He's been Bucky. Like
Captain Marvel.
Yeah, like the fact that we don't have him, but we're getting Razorback.
We don't even have his powered up form when he's A-Bomb, which was very popular.
Yeah.
The Baroness is a beautiful figure, but that neck size is cray. I haven't really noticed anything about the neck.
I mean, I don't know. It looks fine. I mean, if you pop the head off, she does have a long neck because the peg sits up pretty far up in there. But
yeah, they have
with the head on
pegs. They have super long neck pegs on the
jacket. Yeah, but with the head on, it's not noticeable.
That's the retro one in your hand there.
Yeah, the one that came in the retro card. Yeah.
Okay, so she's not the she's black. Why was I thinking about a blue one for some reason? That was Super 7, wasn't it?
Super 7, yeah.
Oh, damn that!
It's a good figure, man. They did a good job on this.
I've always wanted a Baroness. I don't know why.
Yeah, they did good.
I want the Razorback, but not getting that box set until it drops in price. I hear you, man. Look, the Silvermane. Well, that's what's one that pisses me off more than anything. Talk about that box set. Did you see all the box set announcements and multi-packs coming out? The blue and yellow. We're getting the updated Banshee, but you got to buy a 3-pack to get it. It's a 3-pack with Banshee, Gambit, and Psylocke in the blue and yellow outfits.
Yeah, who the hell wants that?
Maybe like you can just repurpose the. If you don't want to buy the morph online, you can get a head cast and you can turn that Gambit into a morph.
Oh, speaking of box sets, just for anybody out there that hasn't picked up the that Venom 2-pack with Venom and Null, like maybe y'all know this already. That's fine. But he's on they're on that 2-pack is on Amazon right now with a $15 coupon, so it knocks it from 70 down to 55. If anybody is interested, that's a big chunk off of that fucking price. I'm sorry, I cussed. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's fine. I got the this is for adult collectors thing on here.
Okay, I forget sometimes I'm not on my chat, but but yeah, I just ordered it last night because it had the coupon and I had some credit at Amazon. I was like, well, crap, because I don't care about the Venom honestly. But the Null figure looks great. Everything I've seen of it, it looks like a really good figure. All new sculpt, cool. So I've been wanting it for that, but I didn't want to pay the $70 for it because it's just
Null's a beast.
Yeah. So so if anybody like is in the market for that right now, it's a good time to go pick him up because it's $15 coupon on Amazon. You just click the little box before you add it to your cart, and it applies the $15 off. So.
Yeah, I got 2 more bats with one of those coupons. They were doing that coupon, and I had some points with my Amazon account. You ended up getting 2 extra bats for like less than $20.
Oh, nice.
Hey, sorry, Matt. I just realized something. You used one F word. Since you're our guest and we've gone almost 2 hours, why don't you use the other F word?
What?
You know the other F word that we use every week?
I'm not going to say that. No.
Come on.
I know what you're talking about.
You're our guest, and I'll let you do it this week.
Family.
Thanks.
All right.
You don't feel too dirty, do you?
No, I guess I can take a shower after this. I'll be all right.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, the paint on this SDC, the retail version of Gladiator is so much better than the SDC one. I got both of them.
Yeah, I picked up. I finally got Gladiator. Like I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 months ago. My local shop, got a collectible shop, had him out of the package. Didn't have any, just regular, and was selling. I think it was like $23, and I was like, you know what? fine. Because in the package, he was selling for insane prices. And I
Yeah.
just was like, I didn't want him that much for what he was going for on like eBay and stuff. So when they had him for, like I said, $23 or whatever. And I was like, I finally got him. And he's fine. It's not a great figure or anything. It's not like amazing sculpt or anything like that. But, it looks good on the shelf. So I finally picked him up.
It's one of the few figures that looks decent on the Hyperion mold.
Yeah, no, it definitely fits. Yeah.
He should have been on a bigger mold.
I'm still waiting for Corsair. Are we ever going to get Corsair? Ever?
I think wasn't he on that rectangular list?
Yep.
Was he? It'd be nice. I'd love to see all the Starjammers. Like, that's a team because I'm a huge 80s Chris Claremont era X-Men fan. Like, that's when I started reading comic books. And obviously, Starjammers were a huge part of that whole era of X-Men. And I would love to see the Starjammers and the Shi'ar and all those characters get brought in, because I would eat that crap up just like I buy Spider-Man crap.
I'm pretty sure he was part of that rectangular's leak list, and so far he's been spot on.
Okay, well, good. It's about time.
Well, you know what though? Like you just mentioned all these characters, Shi'ar and Starjammers and stuff like that. These are characters that people want.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we'll say the word UFOs because that we can never say that enough. And yet here you are releasing the Human Fly and Razorback.
I know, exactly.
Yeah.
These are D characters compared to like Starjammers or Shi'ar characters,
or
right?
More of the stupid Disney Plus series figures that's got that weird animated look.
Oh yeah.
They announced the whole figure is the exact same re-release of Killmonger, except for the cartoon head. It's going to be an Amazon exclusive.
Yep. I want the Starjammers with Chode as the Build-A-Figure.
Well, they have the parts to actually make Chode, so
I mean, just give me a full Starjammers wave with a big ass Chode. Somebody clip that, because that sounded great.
He is set up for 13-year-old kid humor. That
Yeah.
name.
I love that name. I love Chode. Chode was a great character.
I love Toad.
I love Chode.
I couldn't
But
imagine.
that's what they need to do. That is a perfect wave right there. The Starjammers wave with Chode as the Build-A-Figure. I mean, it writes itself at this point. Like
Here on the Collector Express, where we talk more about Chode than the other channel.
we're all in on the Chode here.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody loves a good Chode. Come on. Give us the Chode, Hasbro.
That's what everybody starts chanting when they go like those panels now. Give us the Chode.
Exactly. Chode.
Yeah,
Chode.
they can
Chode,
easily
Chode.
they can easily retool the Abomination figure.
Oh yeah.
A new head.
Yep.
I can see them retool some parts from the Gamerverse Abomination and make a comic book Abomination out of it, because the size on it's much better.
Well, if the 80th anniversary Hulk is their staple when it comes to the Hulk figure, you know what? Then the Gamerverse Abomination is a perfect size for that Hulk.
Yep.
No. This is the only Abomination anybody needs, right there.
I got that one too.
Yeah, the sculpt on that one's beautiful.
This thing is amazing, and the fact you can get him, what is he, $33 or whatever, like. Still on Amazon. Last time I looked, you can still get him on Amazon.
And those old Marvel Select big characters like him and the Thing, you could keep them inside your bed and use them for home defense.
Yes, you can. This would hurt. You'd kill somebody with this thing easily. And he's great, man. This like you can't get. I mean, I get it. The articulation is lacking, but like, how many poses are you gonna put Abomination in? You know what I mean? Like, he looks beautiful on the shelf.
One of the things that helps with like neck articulation, I actually moved his the socket back some.
Oh yeah,
drill a new hole and put an O-ring system in with it. He can actually move his head from left and right and tilt now.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I've just had him sitting on the shelf, man. He's on my my Marvel villain shelf with all the other Avengers villains and stuff.
Yeah,
and
I got a display where he's charging the Hulk and the Hulk and She-Hulk are fighting off a Dorby Man, the Rhino, Doomsday, a Wendigo, and the Abomination.
nice.
And got one of those SD figure arts, like ground pound things. And I got the Hulk just pounding Doomsday into the ground, and the rest of them are charging them, and the She-Hulk's punching the Dorby Man.
I'm pretty boring with my displays. All my guys just stand there.
Yeah, me too.
They're just there. And then occasionally I go over and look at a shelf and go, and feel better about life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
So,
Isn't that what it's all about?
yeah, exactly. Which is why, again, this pisses me off when they take the joy out of it. You know? It's like, this is fun. This is enjoyment. This is a little bit of reliving your childhood and getting to like buy all the things you couldn't buy as a kid. You know?
I want to see my figure.
Exactly.
If I want to open it, I can open it. If I don't, I don't. And I can still see my figure.
Yeah. So.
Plus, you can inspect paint applications.
Yep. This is why we're having so many QC issues pop up. Because there's no accountability at the factories, because it doesn't matter. Because by the time you figure out that there's a problem with one, it's already been sold and it's in somebody's house all the way on the other side of the world, and nothing can happen.
Well, it's like I mentioned last night, the Coven Comics just got their shipment of Hell Witches in. They are in collector-friendly boxes where you can see the figure. They are doing visible inspections to make sure the paints are good. They're doing QC before they ship them out to customers. You can actually look in the box through the window and see if the actual figure is good.
Yeah. And especially with this hobby, like, that is essential. Like, I don't understand how they thought this was going to go over well. That is an essential part of the hobby, is being able to see the figures. And I know the majority of people who collect are not inbox collectors. I mean, we all have some. I've got a handful of, inbox stuff. We all do. Yeah. But like most of the people collecting these, even adults, take the stuff out of the package. So I get that, but taking that option away altogether is just, it does not seem like good business.
No.
The retro cards. You're going to cut. They said they're going to keep the retro cards with the windows, but are they though? Because they revealed those new Dungeons and Dragons figures. They made them retro carded, but with a fucking box on the front of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the point of that? you have like a retro card hanging style packaging, then you put a box where you can't see the figure.
You know what? Retro card packaging is, I think, it's amazing for collectors that like to open and don't like to open. But you just took away the coolest part of the retro card, is actually seeing the whole figure with a beautiful card back.
Yeah, I mean, that's the point, is to evoke that feeling that you got when you were a kid, right?
Yeah.
These retro cards are going back and taking stuff at this point, basically from the 80s and some stuff from the 90s, and trying to sell nostalgia. And now you're just taking a huge chunk out of that nostalgia when you take that away.
Yeah.
So what's the point? You might as well just shove it in a box like this at that point, because then it doesn't mean anything anymore. The retro card means nothing.
You know what my first retro card figure was? Is a buddy of mine did me a favor. He went to the was it Fan Expo here in Toronto, and he picked me up the Gray Hulk, the retro Gray Hulk. That was my first Hulk figure. I remember when I went to go pick it up off him, he gave it to me in the mailer card, and it slips out, and you got the box art, the box that comes with the box art, and then you take the retro card figure out of that. You know how I felt holding that huge ass retro card figure in my hand? I almost felt like a giddy little kid in Toys R Us back in the day. You know what I mean? Like this huge because of the size of it, I guess it would make up for the size of a figure when I was a kid, right? And I'm holding this huge Hulk figure on a retro card, and I just felt so giddy. You know what I mean? It was like,
it's a great feeling. First one I got was, where is he? Oh, this one right here. This is the first retro card figure that I bought, and it was the Captain America retro card with the little drawn on scales and everything, you know.
Mhm.
And it just had those same color. I've got the original one up there on the wall, the original Toy Biz, 1990 Marvel superheroes, with the same color scheme and everything, the bright blue and bright red and everything. And I saw this dude sitting in there, and I was like, I've got to buy that. Because just like Spider-Man, I'm a huge Captain America fan. And I will always remember picking this guy up and how just awesome it was to see the same card back, just bigger as the one I've got over there, and it again, this is all about nostalgia. This is all about, getting to remember your childhood a little bit more and get a little bit of that back, as we're all now just old sons of bitches. And life sucks sometimes, and you got to go to work, you got to do all those things. So when you can get a little joy out of a little piece of plastic, and just have some good memories of being a kid and remembering how much it meant to you then, and you get a little bit of that back. It'll never be the same as when you were a kid, but you get a little bit of that back, and that's what they're selling. Because let's be honest here. When it comes to Marvel Legends, when it comes to G.I. Joe, when it comes to these bigger, lines that they have, they are not selling to kids. Okay. 95% of the people buying these are grown-ass adults that are buying them because of their childhood. That is their key market base right there. That is who is buying these figures. It's not kids anymore. Kids are playing Roblox and playing on their phones and their tablets and stuff. It ain't kids that are buying these things. Nope. And so when you're putting stuff out there like that, and they have to know this. They have to know. They know who's buying their stuff. It's not like this is a big secret. And yet you're doing everything you can to piss off the people that are the only without adults. Right now, at this point, I know Hasbro's the biggest toy company in the world, and they got their hands in all kinds of stuff. But if adults just were like, I'm tired of buying your stuff, they're screwed.
Yeah.
They're screwed at this point.
Because parents are not going to buy it.
How mature they think they're buying on it is that Hasbro PulseCon, holy shit, that was set up for kids. Those people acted like, I don't know, they were talking to little teeny tiny kids that were hosting that.
Yeah,
and that's not their market. That's not who's paying their bills and buying this stuff.
Well, realistically, as a parent, do you think parents that don't know anything about Marvel or whatever are going to go into a store like Target or Toys R Us here and buy a figure for $40?
No,
an action figure for $40. No. They're going to say you're crazy.
Not when there are there are toy lines of these same characters specifically made for the kids that are considerably cheaper. Yep, and those are, if they're buying their kids anything other than Roblox cards, and I can say that I got 4 kids. Okay, I know what these kids want. I got 4 kids aging from 8 to 23, and I know what they're into. And if they're buying any toys for them, it's that stuff. It's not this stuff that they're buying.
They don't care about highly detailed, articulated figures. They want to play with their toys.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not going to, like you said, they're not going. I'll say that nobody's going to buy expensive $25 to $35 figures for their kids to play with and tear them up in 15 minutes.
Yeah,
exactly.
Of course, I've seen some people though make me cringe. Just like with these collector groups, they'll buy these damn high-end third-party masterpiece figures they paid $300 for and hand it to their kids. It's like,
my kids are well trained. My 8-year-old still likes playing with toys, and there are some toys, and she knows which ones she's allowed to come in my room and pick up, and she knows.
Yeah.
If it's not one of those, don't touch it. Don't touch it. It's not your. You have the Peppa Pig toys and the Roblox toys that I buy at GameStop for you and all the other stuff, you know. So yeah, no, but yeah, there's some stuff.
Let's see. We got the Silvermane. Did you watch the Robo's review on that thing on that 5-pack?
Yeah.
I didn't see that. He got it in.
Yeah, they sent it to him.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't even see that.
The metallic ear covers, it's supposed to be metallic. They left them flesh color. So he's got like
flesh ear domes.
Flesh ear domes.
Wow.
It's like, and they made the thing that almost everybody's made. Everybody's making a Beetle or an Ultron that's on
that
this
custom's
body.
been around for 3 years at least. It's been making the round everywhere.
Ever since that head came out, people's done that.
Yeah.
And like, here's something everybody wants. It's like Silvermane. It's like, if you want everybody want it, you done Silvermane on that pretty boy body. You're using the arms for the pretty boy on that Silvermane, but why not the rest of the body? That actually looks like the way Silvermane looks in the comics.
That's exactly what he looks like. Yeah. And you know what? They pissed a lot of people off is because now they're releasing it as a 5-pack. So anybody who wanted to use it for Silvermane, nope. You know, people would have bought an extra one.
My custom pretty boy is now worth nothing because nobody cares anymore. It's just a K2SO.
Oh yeah,
that I repainted silver, and like I cut his arms down because K2SO has ridiculously long arms, and then I put a old Mattel Superman head on there. And I was like, because they came out. I got like most of the Reavers now at this point because there's a couple that they have, and there's a couple that I customized that I kit bashed, and I was like, but I don't have a pretty boy yet, and we had Skullbuster, not Skullbuster, the tank dude that I'm blanking on his name right now. Yeah, there you go. And so I was like, well, I need a pretty boy, so K2SO figures are really cheap. You can pick them up for like $15. So I was like, well, I'll just buy one of those and do a freaking.
The only thing with those K2 figures is you need that on that stand because.
Oh yeah, he doesn't stand up.
Oh man,
at all.
No, I had him. I got to straighten up my Stormtrooper shelf in Darth episode New Hope, the real episode 1.
Yes, the sequel to Rogue One.
Yeah. I saw like a little meme. Somebody's like, George Lucas is going to be working on the sequel to Rogue One, like A New Hope.
Yeah.
I start reading it. It's like, oh, cool. Then at the punchline, it's like, son of a bitch, they got me.
Yeah. Now I started to get into Black Series stuff for a while, and I found myself like just only picking and choosing certain characters, and like only certain ones interested me. So I've got, I don't know, like 25 figures, I think. And it's like a lot of troopers, a lot of Mandalorians. I've got the 40th anniversary Darth Vader. I've got General Grievous. Just kind of the ones that I thought looked really cool. I just picked up that Dark Trooper because I saw him at Target. So I picked him up. That's the last one I picked up. But I've had a real hard time getting into Black Series stuff. But I tell you what, the vintage line stuff, I like a lot better. Like I've got way more vintage line stuff. And I think what it is because I've got a lot of I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, like 8 old school ships. And, I just kind of had them because they're cool. I got like a Millennium Falcon and an X-Wing and all this stuff, original, vintage stuff from the 80s. And the vintage line stuff, like just fits perfectly for display purposes. You know what I mean? Like it works. And so then I still pick those up occasionally. And then I actually went back because I'm a huge fan of Star Wars Rebels. Loved that show. Went back and picked up almost the entire 3 3/4 inch line of Star Wars Rebels. There's a couple that I'm missing just because they're really expensive. I don't have what's her name? Syndulla. And I don't have Big Boy. Why am I blanking? I'm a big fan, but I can't remember his name.
I know what you talk about. It's based on the original concept art.
For Chewie. Yeah. Anyway, I don't have those two because they only came in 2 packs, and you know they don't make them anymore, and so they're really expensive to find.
Does it start with a V?
I think it starts with a G, right?
I can't remember.
Why am I blanking on his name? Anyway, so I don't have those two, but I've got all the rest of them, and they're just 5 POA figures, but they're really well done, and they're in that animated style, and they look really cool. I don't know. I just found myself getting way more into the 3 3/4 inch Star Wars stuff, which is the only 3 3/4 inch stuff that I collect.
I was at one when they start doing like the Clone Wars figures and like the the Rebel series figures, but they didn't make them look like their cartoon cells. They try to give them
yeah, because I've got
I understand the reasoning, but
Kanan and Sabine in Black Series. Yeah. And they just don't look right. And that's why I didn't collect any more of them, because I wanted to get the whole lineup for the whole crew. And when I got those two, I bought them at the same time. And I got them and I looked at them and I'm like, I get it because it's Black Series, but like I want them to look animated. I don't want them to, look real.
Have a good one, Darth.
Later, Darth. Take it easy, man.
I don't. I was going to answer your question. I don't have it up. Do you make dioramas for your figures? DaGobiCustoms makes dioramas. He's not here tonight. He's doing Halloween stuff with the family. Oh, I said it.
Now we
family. I did it for myself.
Yeah.
The only diorama I have is not. I don't even really count it as a diorama, and that's just the background that I have for my videos. It looks like the inside of a spaceship is what it looks like, which sucks because I wanted to get more, and I had bought that thing like 4 years ago, and I forgot where I bought it from. So if anybody ever watches one of my videos and sees that background that I've got and knows where that came from, please let me know, because I don't remember where I ordered it from, and I would love to use it for like the background for some of my Star Wars stuff and some of my top shelf stuff that I have up here, and I can't for the life of me remember what company makes those things.
There's a link to GeekFusion's channel down in the description below if you want to check it out.
Yeah, I was racking my brain when I redid my room here about 2 months ago, because I wanted to put some of those up, but I got a 2-pack, and each one comes with 3 panels. So I've got 3 panels up there, and then I've got 3 panels that I use for the background of my videos. And I wanted to get a bunch more because they weren't very expensive. They're just cardboard panels, with the background on it and stuff. And I just like the way they looked. I think they look cool. And I looked on the thing, and it's not marked with anything on there that says where it's from, and I cannot remember where I got them.
You get them from Toy Hacks?
Maybe, I don't know. Here, I'll show you, because I had to pull one down the other day.
Yeah.
This is what they look like. It's these panels that fit together. These cardboard panels. And I remembered they make a bunch of different ones, like fantasy backgrounds and all kinds of stuff. And
that might be Toy Hacks.
Maybe it's okay. Well, I'm going to look that up right now, because if it is, thank you, because I can't remember where I got this thing. I remember it wasn't very expensive to get them, and
it looks like it's made for a DTOF.
And they're great. They work great as just kind of real, general backgrounds for different stuff.
Canon says pop up too. TOYT. Let's see. HAX. I have brain fart for a second.
Toy Hacks. Okay, because I looked up Toy Hacks and I got a completely different website. Let's see. Toy Hacks. I'll look that up. See what I can find. Yeah, I can't remember, and I don't remember where I bought them. I don't remember what the company was.
Box of Canon says there's just a pop up. They might be something too.
Let's see.
Fixing like the horrible looking toupee, plastic toupee looking thing on the Guinness Marvel, Captain Marvel. I wanted to take it off the head and paint it, but they glued this bastard on.
Yeah.
I even heated it up, try to take it off. Let's see. Now I'm going to turn one of my Vulcan Marvel. Yes, they use that Spider-Man UK for Marvel, and I never did. Unless you got the right color scheme on that UK body, it looks bad. Some figures it looks good. The other ones is like just accentuates the odd proportion of the legs. Do 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 do. I wonder if Modesto's still sleeping on us. Modesto.
Sorry, I had to
All
step
right.
out for a minute.
Stepped out. You were snoring logs for a while.
Yeah, and then I got up. I went off, came back. I'm back and forth between the shit.
All right. Who said pop-ups?
Box of cannons.
Sir, thank you so much. That's exactly what it was. It's at extremesets.com. And they have all of them. Thank you. I've been trying to figure that out for months now.
Sweet.
Thank you. I'm going to bookmark this so I never forget.
Who needs to remember anything when you got a good chat?
Exactly. Yes.
Let's see. Pull up the. You bastard. Not y'all, but me, my arm. I just paint that head and I put it in a vise to hold it place. And then I move my arm and I hit the release on the vise and it fell to the ground. He still looks good. No weird plasticky looking hair now. And it's time for another coat on those legs. I got the rough colored in on the torso for the Age Apocalypse Jean Grey. It's not detailed except for maybe like the red stripe, but because it's the black will actually add the detail.
Yeah.
Clean up the lines. Victor, I'm still waiting on the original Spider Slayer, the one with the monitor and JJ's face. That would be cool. That they'll never make it. I think that Hasbro just uses the figs sent to the AliExpress with the Windows packaging because QC and those figures are now worse than before.
Mm-hmm.
Do you all make any diorama? Oh, we got to talk about that one. Dark Scott out for the night. He's going to catch the replay. Nico head out. Sorry if missed you heading out. Thanks for stopping by, Nico. Extreme sets. So, as we was trying to figure out pop-ups. You can find pop-up dioramas on Big Bad. Oh, they got them there too. Okay.
Yeah.
But they ain't cheap on Big Bad.
Yeah, and I think I paid like 35 or $40 for it. So I'm looking here and like some of the ones that are similar as far as, like mine didn't have like the floor and accessory pieces. Yeah. I mean, I had a couple, but not a lot. They're selling now for like 45. So the price has gone up a little bit, but not a lot. So that's still, that's still good.
Make sure doing my stuff on camera. Got the point of the show. It's hard. It's easy to fall back in the old habit of like pull my arms close while I paint.
Yeah,
because that's what I do when I'm not on camera. When I can find some time to customize during the week, I just paint like normal. You gotta be careful about when you're painting is not to go over paint that's already starting to set, or that's when you get your brush strokes. I always try to go in one direction when I paint too.
It's like a lot of people who don't really customize don't realize just by watching it, it's almost like medicating. You know what I mean? It's like
It's, that's why I watch my friend Custom Matthew. He got a camera on his workstation, and some of these custom channels, and you can't see anything they're doing.
yeah, kind of defeating the purpose, really. But
Yeah, you see their heads while they're working on stuff, like their faces. Like, oh, that's, I want to see what you're working on and how you're doing it.
I just like to make quick little videos because I don't do anything extensive of like,
Right.
hey, here's what it looks like. I'm done.
Well,
yeah.
Well, I was talking about like they'll have a stream like this, but they don't show any of their work. They're more focused on the chit chat, which the chit chat's good.
Yeah.
But also want to see what you're working on. You can, especially if you're like talking about trying to tell people how to customize. Let's see what you're doing.
Yeah. Do you know if there's any channels out there, or maybe you've done it? I don't know. I would love to see a channel like go through and do like a series of however many videos it takes to be like, okay, these are the basics. And I'm not talking about like specific figures. I'm like, okay, this is how you do this. This is how you do like this is, and like I already know how to do like a wash on something, but like this is how you do a wash, you know, and the different techniques and stuff like that.
On the channel, but I need to do like some of the stuff I take for granted. It's like taking a figure apart. That some people that's very intimidating and just start popping figures apart.
Dude, the first time I tried to take a figure apart, I butchered it. I had to throw it away because I did not know, because I couldn't find any information on it. I did not know you have to push the pins out in a certain direction. So I was like pressing these things out the wrong damn way, ruined the pins, just completely wallowed out the holes on the knees and elbows. Because I looked it up and I couldn't find anybody on YouTube or anywhere that was like, okay, on these figures, you have to push from the outside to the end because they're bigger on one side than they are on the other. I didn't know that. I ruined a fucking Iron Man. I'm going to say it again. I ruined an Iron Man figure. I said family, not. I didn't say the other. I said the other. Oh no. Oh.
What did you say?
Family.
You did twice in one stream, Matt. Wow.
No, but I because there was no information on that type of stuff out there when I first started messing around with figures a few years ago.
You know why? Because back in the day, all these tutorials were on the forums, and you would actually have to go through like there were a lot of different forums that you went on, and they had links to videos and stuff like that. But with YouTube, I'm surprised though, because like I mean, YouTube's such a it's a bigger campus when it comes to videos and stuff like that, obviously. But yeah, they are hard to find unless you know where to look.
Yeah,
and I would love to make some of those videos, but I'll be honest, I don't feel like I have anywhere near the experience. I don't think anybody should listen to me when it comes to customizing stuff. Like kit bashing, sure, I'll give you advice on kit bashing, but I don't want to give you advice on anything else because I'm not that good, you know.
I do have a series like several tutorials on the channel, but I need to do some more basic stuff too, style tutorials, because a lot of people, like I said, what I take for granted, like I already know, is like people struggle with.
Yeah.
Like you just said, it's like how do you press the print pins out?
Yeah, simple little stuff like that if you're just starting out, like I mean, it's stuff that I, don't even think about now if I'm popping in places or whatever. But
my kit bashing custom G.I. Joe video I did, it's real popular on the channel. Somebody recently asked me how do I take the female torsos apart. It's like, to me, it's easy enough because it's heat and pop. All you do is heat the torso up and pop them apart. But if you don't know, you don't know.
Well, it's like I'm just like you. I'm on a lot of those same like Facebook pages for Marvel Legends and all that stuff because I see your stuff pop up on there sometimes. And sometimes you'll get somebody asking a really simple question like, "Oh, this came in and it's sticking out the wrong way because it was in the package wrong," and they don't even know. Just like, well, you get a hair dryer and heat it up and bend it back the way it's supposed to be. It'll be fine. Simple stuff like that some people just don't know because they've never messed with any of this stuff before.
They think your figures run because the leg's crooked.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I don't like, though, is that a lot of these guys who ask the simple questions that 99% of us know the answer to, a lot of times you get those ass hats out there that really make them feel bad for asking.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like...
yeah, there's some good miniature channels that do tutorials on painting. I've seen those. Figure disassembly, like right before the stream, I took apart this Vulcan. He's all heat and pop. I heated up in hot water and pulled them all apart. I can't where he's don't have pins. I can't really take the legs apart and the arms apart, but where I'm going to need them to be red anyway, so I don't need to.
Part of me wonders if that's why they're starting to go pinless.
They are. That's what me and Hulk Smash were talking about before. It's less that they want to do a seamless, clean look. It's more they don't want us customizing.
Yeah.
That back years ago, like 10 years ago or something like that, they started going after customizers selling customs on eBay. Because you're selling customs of my IP. As Hasbro was doing it.
Yeah.
And one of the big toy channels sided with Hasbro going after customizers.
Oh, shit.
And I'll tell you who it was after the stream. I just don't want to get the drama stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know what they were doing too is a lot of the guys who make head casts and stuff like that had to go back and rename all their product. They couldn't say that this was Cyclops. They had to say this was One-Eyed Guy.
Yeah.
Like it was like names like that, and Wolverine, they would call him the Wolf Man. You know what I mean? Just so they couldn't turn around and say, well, Wolverine or Cyclops are our characters. You know what I mean? Like, and you can't sell our stuff or whatever. So everybody was renaming their headcasts too.
Yeah, that actually makes a little more sense because if you think about head castings, they are technically knockoffs of other people's work, but it's a little petty for $1 billion company to go after somebody reproducing a head.
Yeah. Well, they want every penny, I guess, right?
Yeah. Especially, they used to go after people making replacement decals too, like Toy Hacks, where they make Transformer decals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Hasbro will never do that. So what's the big deal? They're offering stuff where people can actually restore their vintage toys.
Hey guys, I got to cut out. I got work early in the morning.
All right. Well, thank you for stopping by.
Yeah, of course.
Like I said, man, always a pleasure, buddy.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, House of the Dragon's over now, so I got nothing to watch on Sundays with my wife. So that's why the last few weeks is like we watch it, because we start watching late and stuff, and then watch it, and then by the time I'm done, it's like, it's bedtime. So, but yeah, no.
There was a funny video I saw today. It's like where somebody's talking about why realize that there are a lot of scenes out of House of Dragon is taken directly from Shrek.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
That's why I like House of the Dragon. It's Shrek.
Yeah. I love that show. It's a good show. But all right, man. No, I'll see you guys next week. I'll hop back on next week.
Sweet.
Awesome.
So we'll see you later.
Have a good one, man. Take care.
Take it easy.
Take it
easy.
Yeah. I still got to watch that show.
I don't have HBO Max right now, so.
There's just so much. There's so much out. Like I'm getting caught up. Believe it or not, I've been getting caught up on Supernatural because I still haven't watched it right through.
I haven't watched the final season. The last season, last couple seasons, it was getting weak, and I'm sorry. Like when the much stuff they fought, and then he ended up like regular people are like kicking their ass later on. It's like you fought angels and gods. Like regular people shouldn't be able to kick your ass.
Yeah.
Let's see. I bet probably cheaper for them to make a pinless too. Yeah, it's less parts for them on them. They don't have big pins. And the box is about plastic. It's cheaper. Oh, that's exactly what they're trying to say. It's economical friendly, but it's not. It's for them to save money on packaging. You're saying changing the boxes to be environmentally friendly, except you're cutting down more trees, and you're making 4 plastic figures. Something if you can't take it apart. That's true too. I'm surprised they keep the. Used to be it was harder to take the heads off when you had like a gnarled peg for the heads.
Yeah.
Well, they went back to that with a lot of Star Wars figures. You can't pop the heads off.
Really?
That silver armored woman. It was the braid that Captain Phasma.
Oh yeah, the big letdown.
Yeah, I broke her neck peg because I was expecting to be like the previous Star Wars figures. I yanked that head and I just broke the pegs, and that disc came out.
So the head doesn't come off at all.
You could heat and pop it off, and they designed the peg, the disc hinge too, where it's not a solid disc hinge like on a Marvel Legends. Like Marvel Legends, the disc hinge is a solid disc. On that figure, it's like a round O-ring. It's almost like an O-ring. It's like this, but thinner.
Yeah.
But when I pulled on it, it just snapped it.
Is that the only when they did it for the Star Wars line like that?
Yeah.
It's just weird.
Let's see. We can take part of it. Yeah. What you can take a pinless figure apart, you just have to cut the peg inside. Yeah, you can. I've done that with like you heat your figure up, the parts up. You can put a sharp blade in and cut that peg on that side. You can glue it back together and just keep working it. Hold it together and keep it from moving, from seizing up. You can glue it back together, but
it's a lot of work, though.
A lot of work, and it's never going to be as structurally sound as it was before you cut it. Hasbro went hard after Clayor making mini cast of heads and weapons. Oh, okay. Well, it's one thing that's nice about the 3D modeling community right now, too. People are making original stuff, so it's original sculpts. They can't say they're copying their parts anymore.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to fill in that. Thought I got the A off there enough, but I can still kind of see it through the paint. Alrighty. Well, fellas, I think it might be time to call it a night.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, it's about that time.
Yeah, we're about 2 hours 40 minutes. I think it's the biggest show tonight, and I got more than done I normally do. Where's that? Actually, before we call it a night, I think I'd actually put my Dazzler back together. If I can find all the parts, so I am here. There's the head. Nope. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and do that later. But anyway, I know where the body's at. It's in the hot water. So we got a few questions here. The good thing about Mythic Legions, they're customer friendly. Yeah, you can take them apart easily. Sculpts are nice. Articulation's not the best, but you can take them apart easily. What custom head do you want? Don't have? I would love to get somebody to model a primeval head for me and 3D model it and print it in resin.
Mm-hmm.
That and a yelling sludge head. I got my sludge head sculpted, but the yelling head would be tough. It's like doing it by hand in that scale. Thank you, sir, and thank you, Victor, and thanks, guys. I appreciate you and appreciate everyone coming out and hanging out. Remember to like, share, comment, subscribe. We should be I'm going to try to set up another customizer spotlight. We got somebody we're need to talk to set up a time, but I'll get more details later on that one. And
stay tuned for that.
Yes, we'll put an announcement on the channel. We got one person in mind, and for the next one, and Customs Matthew said he would be up for doing one later on too, on a Saturday. So I think it's going to be pretty well regular thing Saturday. Oh. Previous Hasbro press show, the Moonstone figure of a new Shriek mode I liked because the double jointed arms. Well, it's actually the original Moonstone from the midsection down, and they made a new upper torso with the double jointed elbows for the Moonstone. They also gave her a breast reduction for some reason. Hasbro currently hates boobs for some reason.
Yeah, no kidding.
Thank you, Southtown. I keep wanting to say Southtown Paint Apps. Can't wait to see your U.S. agent. Have a good night, sir. There we go. And we'll catch y'all next time.
Have a good night, everyone.